Woo! Whoa, 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 whoa. Hello? No. We're going to do this a little bit differently. Yo, shy! Oh, man. Hello, everyone. It is I, your good friend Chad Marco, back again with the latest live Botcast, this time on YouTube. I decided to stream this on YouTube. Well, actually, I'm just combining my normal birthday stream with my Botcast stream. I'm being lazy, admittedly. But yeah, this is the yearly birthday stream. So we're going from 32 to 33. Oh, God. Am I just ageless? Lord. You know what they say, black don't crack. Oh, Lord, boy. Man, I got some great genes. I'm not gonna lie. I got some fantastic genes, man. The baby face just won't go away. Oh man, but yeah, I'm turning 33 in about 54 minutes or so. So we're entering a new chapter of life, celebrating the fact that I've survived yet another year. You know, we've had some failures, we've had some successes, but the main thing is that we have survived, all of us that are here tonight. And we're still enjoying life, having fun, trying to be better, etc., etc., etc. Who's here? God Nova. God Nova. He was just over here not too long ago. We were chatting it up. Kimosabi, welcome. Bitters Plus. Hey, Spawn. Looking good. I know. Look at me. Too handsome to be a virgin. My Lord. Oh, man. You like the gear? You like the... I only pull this out for special occasions, you know? I think this is a special occasion. Oh, boy. I'm a little bloated. I've been eating a lot over my birthday weekend, so don't judge me. Oh, man. I got a couple stories to tell, man. I've been having fun this weekend. What's up with you guys? What's going on? Yeah, happy birthday, Wizard Plus 3. Oh, man, we still doing it. You know, last year I put out the 32-year-old virgin video, and I'm gonna put out a 33-year-old virgin video. I might even just record that live on stream. That I might actually do it like that. I might record it live on stream because laziness. Oh man, yeah. Not too long from now, I'll be entering the next year. Bobby Vero, yeah. Well, not quite. We're almost there. We got like 50 minutes to go. Let me enjoy the last minutes of year 32. Let's enjoy. Lord, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Yeah, let's pop one open. Bing, healthy energy drink. Oh God, I'm such a square, man. You know, most people they pull out straight up beer, alcohol for the birthday. I'm on my birthday. I'm streaming. I'm streaming for a bunch of weird niggas and drinking energy drink. I think I'm gonna go out and get something to eat though after I get off stream and watch a horror movie or something. you know. But yes, Hellbreaker. Oh man, I think I got 1 year left till I've been watching you for a decade. Oh man, Lord, Hellbreaker. We're getting old. oh man, Lord. Or at least we both still have our good looks. Say that. Yep, story time. Story time. So for my birthday, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to really do something I haven't done before. So I went up to Raleigh. You guys know I'm from North Carolina. So I went to Raleigh over the weekend just as sort of like a little road trip adventure. Raleigh is like how many miles? I forgot the miles, but it's like for like driving from my house to Raleigh is like it's like I'm like 45, 50 minutes long. So I drove to Raleigh and I got me a hotel room and so I'm going to explore Raleigh on foot. And so I went to Raleigh and when the afternoon came, because when I first got to the hotel room, it was in the morning. So I went to sleep because I was tired and I woke up. And that afternoon, I put on like my workout clothes. I said, I'm just going to go downtown and just run around and just look at what Raleigh is like. And so I was running around Raleigh for like 4 hours straight. and man, it was such a different vibe down there compared to where I am. Everybody kept telling me about like the traffic and stuff like that. And that was definitely accurate. But it was just like a lot of tall buildings for one. And a lot of the stores that I'm familiar with, like I didn't see, like little common stores like Food Line and stuff like that. It was like a lot of fancy stores or like weird stores that I'd never seen before. But it was just a really cool place. And there were like a lot of girls walking around too. That was one of the best things about it. Where I'm from, like you won't see a lot of pretty girls just walking around, but down up in Raleigh, man, like I'm left, right, in front of you, behind you, like you always see like a pretty girl or a group of girls or couples and shit like that. And I knew I was in a different part of the state. I knew I knew I wasn't in Kansas anymore when I was running and like I'm like, wait a minute. It's a lot of rainbow flags around here. And then I realized I was in the middle of a damn pride parade. I was like, Lord. I mean, I saw the niggas in fursuits and all that shit, but it was so many like pretty girls. It was like so many like, oh my God. I always thought, being like going to a pride parade would be like corny as fuck and just be weirdos and shit, like motherfuckers in gimp suits. And you had some of them, but it was so many like pretty girls there. And you had like the Christians, the ones with the Bible. They were out there like, repent or you're going to hell. Like, it was like, I was like, yo, this is the type of shit I only see on the internet. Man, Raleigh was a fucking trip though, man. And yeah, I just got just ran around the city. I went and ate at a Mexican restaurant, and that night I went to a movie theater and watched 28 Years Later. And even the movie theater was like so much better than ours. Like in the movie theater that I went to, they sold like VHSs and DVDs of like old movies and stuff. That I mean, they had just a crazy collection of like classic obscure movies and stuff like that. And they had like these posters of like old horror movies up everywhere. Like the aesthetic was so cool. And when you in the actual theater, like the chairs you sit in, they recline and you can lift your legs up, like the little leg part, so you can like really rest. And you can order like food while you're sitting down. Like you look at the menu and you write the food, like the order down, and then you put it on the thing and you press a button and somebody come and get it. and then they'll bring your food back to you. I was like, what? I was like, Lord. I mean, I felt like I really felt like a fucking country bumpkin going to the city for the first time, which is just funny because I live in a city, but it's a small city where there's not a lot going on. But man, Raleigh was a lot of fun. Man, I had a lot of fun up there. But the main thing for me though was just like the road trip itself, you know, because no, like I rarely leave my city, so going out there by myself, you know, the preparation process, making sure I had, you know, change of clothes and snacks and food, money, protection, like just everything. The whole process of it was just, it was so cool, man. And like driving that far, drive on the highway there and back, man, it was just, man, it was such a fucking like man trip, you know? I really needed that shit. I needed that shit, man. That shit was fun. I loved it though. But that's what I did over the weekend. And now I'm just kind of just cooling down from that little trip and just enjoying the rest of my birthday, if you will. Because normally tomorrow I would have to go to work, but I took Monday off since it's my birthday, and I treated myself to a wireless controller finally. This is my birthday present from me to me, a wireless Xbox controller. All my controllers before were like wired because I was cheap. What are you guys up to? Nick, welcome to the stream. Forever 19. I know, Lord, man. Look at that. Oh. I'm not weird. I'm just special. Aren't we all? Chad went snow bunny hunting and dude, I gotta be honest. I have not been interested in white women for like a whole year. I don't know what happened. I think I know what happened. And I don't know if I told this story before, but you guys know when I made that ideal girlfriend thread, not thread, but video, I didn't have black women listed very high. I don't think I did. Maybe somewhere in the middle. But I was going through my porn folder and I realized I didn't have a lot of black women or like ebony porn. So I started watching more ebony porn. And I started just, wow, like, damn, like black women are just like built different, bro. Like even when their face isn't great, the body will make up for it. And maybe that's what it is. But I feel like white women are known more for like face as opposed to body. Well, I guess it depends on what you're into too. Cause some guys just like just regular skinny girl, but I'm more of a body guy. And I think that's one of the things I realized about black women is like, even when their face isn't that great, they tend to have like a more voluptuous, like chocolatey, thick body. And I swear, man, one thing about this last year, like I just been like really into black girls, like a lot. So when I was up there, yeah, I saw the cute white girls and shit like that, and a lot of like Latinas and shit. But I was mostly focused on the black girls. Like, man, I saw some black girls out there. Like they had like the blue booty shorts on and the tank tops and the long legs. It was great, and it was hot as fuck. So they were like looking all sweaty and shit. It was crazy, man. Oh God. I think I'm gonna go to Raleigh again though. Later because there's an anime con that's gonna be up in Raleigh late July. So I might slide up there again now that I got the experience of how to get up there and knowing my way around just a little bit. I'll probably go back up there for the anime con and see what's up there. That'll be pretty cool. Never mind. He went bussy hunting. Dude, I had no idea. I was running. I swear I was just running. And then like I noticed like more and more people were around. I was like, there's a lot of people. And then I started seeing like the rainbow flags and the trans flags and everything. And then I'm like, why this nigga in the fursuit? And then before I knew it, I'm like, oh shit, this is a problem. we don't have stuff like that down here. So when I saw it, like, it was just like kind of mind blowing. That's the type of shit I only see on the internet. But actually the vibe was cool though. Like people make it seem like it's just like this like pure degenerate thing. And it really wasn't. Like it was like just like imagine like a fucking anime con, but for gay niggas. That's really what it was like. Cause the whole vibe was just like, it was like fun and people were just doing, you had like different vendors and shit. Like it was actually pretty cool. But I ran straight through. I did not stop. I just kept going. But like the whole point was I was already like running and exercising. So I was just running around, just trying to see everything around downtown. And I ended up there. And then I was like, oh shit. But it wasn't nothing crazy. But that was the first time I seen a nigga walking around in a fursuit. That's for damn sure. They even had a whole store down there for like furry accessories. I was like, man, they don't do it like that down here. Ooh, man, it was fun though. It was fun. I like to see it, but I would not like to live. I would not like to live there. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, nah. And see that's a good point. That's a good point, Hellbreaker, because the cool thing about like I said, down there is like it's very different. It's just like I don't know. It's like I feel like where I'm from, the hood element is almost too prevalent. Like there's a project around every goddamn corner. Even in some of the better areas, it's usually like a hood or a ghetto somewhere around there. And downtown Raleigh, like I saw the project area, but it's on the outskirts. So once you get into it, it's just like the downtown city area. And it was just different because it just felt safer. And I'm not from there, so I can't say what it is and what it ain't. But it's just like there was like a greater sense of like safety. And because when you see again pretty girls just walking around by themselves like that, that's something that I'm not used to down here. Like pretty girls, they know better to do that shit around. And it just felt different. It just felt way different, man. They had like these little scooters that people could ride around on. And you put like some change in it and then you can ride the scooters. But the bad thing about it is, I think I actually prefer a more like low key type of environment because like, just for instance, like even crossing the street is harder because of the traffic. They have like those little things, like when you're trying to cross the street, they got the little like the little box that has the hand up to say stop, and then it'll change to a person walking to tell you to go. We don't have shit like that down here. Like the traffic isn't that bad, so you just look and just run across the damn street. But down there, like the traffic is much heavier. Even in just like regular places, it's just more traffic. Like I had to be really careful every time I crossed the damn street. But it wasn't as crowded as I thought it would be though. There was definitely like a greater concentration of people just walking around compared to like where I'm from. Depending on where you are too though. Because uptown where I'm at can get a little busy, but not like that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was different. But I don't think I would want to live. I don't think I would want to live in Raleigh. Oh, but on a bad note, there were a lot of homeless people out there too. Like that's what I noticed. Like especially like on the outskirts of downtown. I was there for one day, and I had 5 people ask me for money. 5 people. Even where I'm from, I might get one person ask me for money like a month. Like I was there one day and got 5 people ask me for money. Like the homeless situation down there is like, it's something else. So it ain't all sunshine and rainbows and niggas in fursuits. But it was fun though. It was fun. It was a nice little adventure. I definitely go up there again. I think moving forward, I'll probably do more like little road trips like that around the state. It was a lot of fun. Do you never leave NC? No. I haven't left North Carolina in a long time. I think maybe the last time I left North Carolina, I might have been like a kid. Like I think when I went to the Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, if if that's what it's called. That was probably the last. I was a kid then, but nah, I don't get out much, dude. I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert homebody, you know. And then on top of that, I've been broke for most of my life. But now that I'm working, I can save money and do stuff like that, do cool stuff like that. So, that's one of the cool things about getting a job is that it's opened life up more for me to do stuff that I normally wouldn't have been able to do it, because if I didn't have money, I wouldn't be able to make that trip. I could have figured it out, if I would have really been doing some heavy, heavy saving and not eating food. But because I'm working, it made the trip a lot easier, and I had like disposable income to like buy stuff and whatnot and to eat. Man, oh yeah, nice controller. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre playing going on. Yeah, I got two more, but they're wired. And I was like, man, I got to get a wireless one. 'Cause I don't like the wire sitting on my leg or touching my arm and shit. This is not, I know it's bad, right? The D pad is a little weird though. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you see how like the D pad look? I'm not into this D pad. You see how it's like it's almost like a little slide. You see it? That's weird, right? I don't know. I'm trying to get used to it, but it's kind of weird how it's shaped. But other than that, I like it. Other than that, I like it. It's cool. I run all my shit wired. What's wrong with you, Hellbreaker? What's the news on World War Three? What's the news on World War Three being on the horizon? Oh yeah, I talked about that quite a bit on the last episode of the Botcast. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. Sometimes people don't believe anything until like mainstream media tells them what it is, and it's like if you go back and you look at World War Two, um, there was it's not like it started off day one. This is World War Two. It's not like it don't work like that. World War Two was the escalation of isolated incidents that escalated from there. And so it's like you look at World War Two, you could say that started when Germany invaded Poland, but at the same time, Japan had invaded China, I think, before that. So that's kind of where it started. Germany invading Poland, Japan invading China. And so look at what we have here. We have Israel invading or fighting against Gaza and Iran because they escalated that, claiming that Iran had nukes, whatever. And then you have Russia invading Ukraine. And I think it was Steve Bannon or somebody, but he said something interesting. And he said that there have been more people killed thus far in these conflicts that we're going through than like the early part of World War II. And I think that those numbers probably come more so from the Russia Ukraine side. But basically, like all the ingredients are there to escalate to that point. Especially now that America is starting to get involved. Recently they bombed some nuclear testing sites on behalf of Israel. So now we're undeniable. I mean, we've been involved, but now it's just like we're bombing shit and we're claiming it. So yeah, it's definitely possible. I hope not. Of course, it's not something that I want to happen, but all the ingredients are there for it to happen. I saw this scary thread on Poll where they were talking about like where this would go. And it was a little kooky. I'm not gonna lie, but some of the theories were kind of scary, to be honest, because the way he was connecting the dots and shit, it's like it made a lot of sense, and it kind of ended really stupid, like on some X tier stuff, like alien invasion. That's when I was like, whoa, let me get out of this thread. But yeah, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible that it could continue to escalate, but we'll see. I think a lot of it hinges on how Iran is going to respond to the latest attacks by Israel and America, and whether or not Russia, North Korea, and China decide to get involved or leave Iran out to dry. But let's hope for the best here. We're going to war. No. Woo! I feel like women are very much complacent because beauty standards are adjusted to serve them. Black women here in Europe do try to come across as classy and are ahead in some regards. Maybe I need to. I love the beauty of black women, but the attitude, that's always been my issue more than anything. I think, black women just sometimes they have a very bad attitude. It's funny. In fact, I'm working on a video about that topic. But in the video, I talk about two of my coworkers. They're like older women. Like one is it's a black woman in her like early 70s and a white woman in her late 40s. But I just noticed the difference in how they communicate with me. Like the older black woman, she's cool, but she got that black woman attitude with how she expresses herself. And the white woman, like, she's just so sweet and nice and shit like that. And when I look at those two, it's just like the perfect example, like the difference between like how now I'm not saying all, I don't want to stereotype too much, but they're just a perfect example of kind of like on the white woman side, why black men fall for that trap. Cause they can be so sweet and nice. And it's just like, it's so unfamiliar to us. And then on the black woman side, it's that attitude, that communication style that they have where I don't know, they just feel like they can talk to you any kind of way. But yeah, for me, that's probably the biggest weakness with black women is that they do tend to have kind of a attitude. Culture shock, pride parade. Exactly. Man, that shit was crazy. Bro was not about to get booty snatched. Dude, I ain't gonna, because I'm cute. I'm cute. Look at me. Oh, man. But nah, nothing like that. Nothing like that was going on. To be honest, not to toot my own horn, but as I was going through the parade, I noticed like there was some girls looking at me. So I was like, I was like, damn. To be fair, I was looking very sexy that day. I had really worked up a nice like manly aura because I had been running and doing push-ups and shit. What race of chicks has been the most pleasant to you? Oh yeah, welcome Kuma. Definitely white women though. Yeah, white. I don't interact with a lot of Asian women. There aren't a lot around here. The only time I see them is like in Chinese stores and shit like that. Hispanic women tend to, I don't know, it's like, I'm not gonna say they're stuck up, but it's like there's almost this sense of them being like closed off, like in their own community. Like Hispanic women tend to stay really close to Hispanic men. Like I haven't seen that many deviate from like that circle of other Hispanics. So whenever I see them, they seem to just be like kind of closed off. Like they're in, like real shit. Like I can't think of many times I've interacted with Hispanic women, and there's a lot of them around here because of, all the illegal immigration. But we've always had a pretty decent Hispanic community or like population around here, even before, the increased illegal immigration that happened around like 2020 and forward. But yeah, I can't think of many times where I've actually interacted with them despite seeing them pretty pretty regularly. Um but yeah, definitely white women are the nicest. White women can be very. I can't think of many times where I felt like I interacted with a white woman and she was like stuck up or mean or anything like that. They definitely tend to be much softer and polite. Black women are just kind of like hit and miss. I'm not gonna just throw all of them under the bus, but I would say black women just tend to be hit or miss. A lot of them have the attitude, but there are definitely some nice ones too. Some ones that have been very sweet and nice to me. I'm just saying, like white women get the award. They get the award for that. Listen, man, I enjoy my traps, but I'm not about to get involved. Man, it's now that I think about it, some of them girls that were looking at me might have been a trap, but I didn't realize it. I wasn't looking back that hard. I was just, again, just kind of in shock because we don't got shit like that down here. But man, just shit. As crazy as it might sound, for guys, if you want to be around a lot of women, you a pride parade. I know it sounds unlikely, but I have firsthand experience. Like I was like, yo, like there was. I mean, it was just so many girls. It was crazy, bro. I was like, damn, like this is like an untapped resource. This is an untapped resource, and then you got to think like you go there as a guy that likes women. You're probably a little bit more masculine and sturdy than the other guys there. So you might you might have an even better chance. I'm just saying, like it might be an untapped resource, bro. It was so many pretty girls out there. It was crazy. Ain't it crazy how our position in life still hasn't changed much? It's been years and we still in these streams having the same talking points. Yeah, but life, when I think about it, as long as my life is still enjoyable and I'm making some progress, like I didn't have these lights last year. No, but when I think about it, I have made like some decent progress as far as like, getting my new job and got a new car and been able to, just do more around the house. And I feel like overall, like this previous year, I didn't do everything that I wanted to do, but there was definitely, you know, enough progress to where I feel like, okay, I can feel good about the year overall, and I'll take that basically. I'll take that. I think, another thing too is like as you get older, as you age, I think a lot of people fear getting older, and I'm no different. But I'm on the other side of 30 now, so I know what it feels like. And I can remember being like 21, 22, 23, and feeling like, oh God, 30, that's like, Lord, your life is over. But one thing I realized as I've gotten older is that it's not really as much about the number as it is about how you feel. And what I'm saying is like, as long as you feel good about your life and where you're at, like you're enjoying life, you're happy, you feel good about yourself. That's the main thing. Because, there are a lot of people who are like, maybe 10 years younger than me, 23, 24, whatever, and aren't happy. They're still going through depression and suicidal ideation, and they're not enjoying themselves. And it's like, what's the point in being that young if you're not even enjoying yourself? But the point is though, it's just like you shouldn't fear getting older as much as you fear just not being happy when you get there. So one day I'm gonna have to be 40. I just hope that I'm happy in 40. I want to be happy in 50, happy in 60, happy in 70. That's the hope. The main goal for me is just, age is gonna come, but I want to make sure that I'm still enjoying myself and I feel good about my life and how I'm living it. That's the main thing. But this is kind of a message for my younger viewers here. Don't fear the dreaded 3-0 that much. It's not that bad. It's all about, or mostly about. I'm not gonna say all. I'm not gonna say all, but it's mostly about how you feel, and because I think it's easy to get caught up in that trap of like, again, the fear of aging and what if this, what if that. But when I look at it, like, wait a minute, like at 32, going on 33, I'm happier than I've ever been. So, I must be doing something right. Because again, time is gonna come, age is gonna come. Just make sure that as the years go by, that your happiness is either stabilized or increasing, that your quality of life is at least stabilized in a good place, or increasing in quality. So that's my message for the young niggas. Oh man, this Chad guy resembles Tupac. Tupac with dreads. Oh man, I wish if I had that Tupac aura, I'd have me some hoes by now. I wonder if Tupac had hoes before he got famous though, or was he relying on the fame stimulus package? Hold up. What? I make sure I've got enough entertainment when I'm not. Oh man, I got entertainment forever. Look at this room. look at this. But hold up, the Ghost of Lil Peep. I just lost 10K on Pacers losing to OKC. Wait, who won? Wait a minute. OKC won, right? Because Halliburton went down. Wait a minute. What's going on? I know damn well. Okay, I about to say, yay, happy for OKC. So you bet on the Pacers. Damn. Yeah, I know you feel bad. I know you feel bad. Halliburton tore his Achilles like what was like 7 minutes into the game, or like 10 minutes into the game. I mean, it was no guarantee that they were gonna win. I think really this game 7 was about evenly matched, all things considered. But when Halliburton went down in the first quarter, yeah, it was pretty much game. Excuse me, game over, 103-91. Yeah, man, I feel you though, because I love a good underdog story. So I was rooting for the Pacers too. I wasn't gonna bet on them, but I was rooting for them. That would have been like one of the craziest playoff runs in basketball history, man. But at the same time, can't be mad at the Thunder winning though, because that's just a great team. They were put together organically. It wasn't like some big three bullshit where you got superstars colluding and teaming up so they can try to get a chip. This was a real team that came together through good management, good trades, hard work. Like they did it the right way. And these are young guys that have a lot of good years ahead of them, hopefully. So I can't be mad at OKC winning, but it's my personality to root for the underdog, and the Pacers were the underdog here. But the right team won the whole thing. I got to be honest, man. Like the OKC, they deserve it. They really deserve it. Because again, for a team that wasn't trying to put together a team using, the LeBron method, the big three LeBron, the big three Celtics, or KD, Harden, Kyrie on the Nets. Nah, just building a team the slow way, the right way, and then making it all the way to the finals and winning the chip. That's good to see. That's good to see. So congratulations to OKC. You did it. You did it. Chat, you should look up the 8-Beto controllers. They're cheaper and better. The joysticks use a different technology that makes them last much. Damn. See, and you know what's funny? I was in Walmart when I bought this shit, and I was like, I could probably get something cheaper if I just go online. But, I'm in that birthday mode where I'm just trying to just spend money. Let me look that up though. You said 8 Beto? 8 Beto control. Okay, I see it. 8 Beto controller. Damn, it looked so. It looked like a no nonsense type of controller, bro. Like 8 Beto Ultimate 2. Well, this one is $70, but this is it says what Nintendo Switch. This one is 70. 8-bit, dude. This one is 30. I paid twice the amount of money. I paid twice the amount. Hey, damn, bro. I paid twice. I might still want to get one of these though. Like it looked kind of like a minimalist controller, but I like it. I dig it. This shit is cool. I like. Hold on. Can I bring up the? Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. They got different colors. Again, it looked kind of minimalist, but the black. Oh Lord, that gotta be a little bit extra, right? I knew it. Look at that. It went from 30 to 34 just because they put a little red and black up there. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. If I was gonna get one though, I get this one. I like this one. This one's pretty cute. I like this. Damn. And again, I thought I was in Walmart like, man, if I get online, I bet you I could find something cheaper. But still, I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. This thing don't feel bad. And with this, you ain't gotta like plug the little thing into the computer. So that's cool too. The Tupac of the neat community. The Tupac of the neat community. Lord. Oh my God. You got, I don't know if I can accept that one. Oh man. Licking Pac, you should get some quiches, my guy. I know. Man. I'm not gonna lie though, bro. Like, my lust has been like increased recently. I don't know what it is, but I've been like more lustful. Like just like I guess to put it plainly, I want to put my face between a black woman's ass. Like no sugarcoating. No sugarcoating. That's exactly how I've been. I've it's like how sometimes you get that feel with no girlfriend. It's like that's converted to just that, like that feel when my face is not between a black woman's chocolate buns. Oh man, so Akeisha don't sound bad right now. Have you considered African chicks? Ah. I haven't really thought that much about it because I'm not in Africa. but I don't know. Like one thing, to me, African women seem to be very. They seem to be like very materialistic, to be honest. And I know Western women are materialistic enough, but I mean, materialistic in a sense of like, how do I put it? And I don't want to like generalize too much, but this is just like the vibe that I've gotten from sometimes like some of the African women that I've seen like express themselves online and talk online. It's like they have this weird combination of wanting to be traditional, but also having like some of the feminist elements of Western women. So it's like they are very, how do I put it? They are very upfront and honest about the material aspect of a relationship that they would want to be in, that they would want to be in. So it's like, I feel like to a certain extent with Western women, because of the allegation of being gold diggers and whatnot, they can downplay that somewhat. and talk about other things that they look for in men. And it seems like with African women, like they don't downplay that part at all. Like they are very upfront about wanting money, about wanting to be provided for, about wanting a more like traditional arrangement. But at the same time, there's like this underlying feminism about it too, where it's like you can just really tell like it's mostly about the resources than anything else, instead of like a genuine connection. Again, I'm not trying to generalize. I'm just saying that the few times I've seen African women talk about dating and whatnot, that's how they come across to me. They come across as somehow being even more materialistic than Western women. And I don't know why that is, but that's the vibe that I got. And I'm not the right guy for that game. I don't make enough money to satisfy African women. I'll put it like that. I don't make enough money to satisfy them. It's just an American thing, Marco. If you actually travel to Africa and parts of Europe, okay. Zaku is my wake up alarm. It's pretty perfect because of that 3, 2, 1 countdown. Let me make sure my alarm is off. Oh, oh shit. Bye, 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 bye. Okay, all alarms off. Whew, okay. It's just an American thing, Marco. If you actually travel to Africa and parts of Europe or the Caribbean, you would meet different types of black women. Yeah, I mean that would be great. I would again, it's yeah, baby steps. I finally made it to Raleigh, so give me some time. Give me some time. I remember one day I walked through the city during the parade and I was like, what the fuck is going on? You got half naked people out here and the shit is wild. See, I didn't I didn't see all that. I didn't see all that. Now the weirdest thing I saw was the guys in the fursuits. On some positive news, my YouTube channel blew the fuck up. These past few months, I gained like 30 subs and 40K views just from making YouTube shorts. I had to get back on my YouTube short game, but congratulations. Let's clap for PlayStation Games Daily. He had a glow up on his YouTube channel. You know, when I put out that not the last video, but the Black Sale video, I got like quite a few new subs off that one. That one got almost like 10,000 views. So that was a good video for me. I was not expecting that video to do that well, but it did. So sometimes you just never know. You never know what videos are gonna really take off and which ones aren't. I mean, I guess 10K ain't really that much, but for me, that's nice. And it's like every now and then I'll put out a video that just gives me a nice little bump. So we're almost at 4K finally. Let's see if we can hit 5 by the end of the summer. Let's do it. Yeah. Alexi Barona, how old are you now? This is year 33 for me. I know I don't look it, but oh man. I fear not being physically fit as I age. Oh man, that's a big one too. I think that's my biggest fear. It ain't like necessarily the look. It's like your body aging and not being able to perform and do certain things. Hitting your peak physically. I think that's the fear that I have. Luckily my body is still in great shape, but definitely with age, one thing that I have noticed is like it does take longer to get over like soreness. Like if I work out like really hard and get like to the point where I have like significant soreness, it'll take a bit longer for that to go away. And you just accumulate different like pains over the years, like neck, knees, shit like that, and you just kind of work through it. That's the best way I could put it. It's like just just over time, certain things just happen, like little minor injuries, and then they can become somewhat chronic, and then you just find a way to work through them. That's the best way I can put it. But at 33, I'm still young enough to where it's not too big of an issue, but I can definitely see like where it's headed over the years, like as one thing turns into this and that, or a bad knee or a back or this, an elbow, and then you just got to find a way to work around it. I know there's one guy that goes to the gym. He used to be a bodybuilder, and I mean he's strong as fuck. He's strong as a bull, but he got really bad knees. So it's like with him, you don't see him doing leg exercises. He ain't running on no treadmill or nothing. But the arms, man. He be in there killing it. So as you age, that's one of those things that just kind of come with it. Certain body part is gonna just fall to pieces if you're not careful, and then you just got to kind of work around it and figure out what you can do. From 40 plus, you need to take health as priority if you want to maintain the energy levels. Oh yeah, that's why I've been trying to now really focusing more on like cleaning up my diet. I've made a lot of progress in that regard, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. A lot of room for improvement. It's my birthday, so fuck it. Yeah. All things considered, it could be a lot worse. Like I said, most people, they get drunk, get super high on their birthday. I just want some junk food, jack off a couple times, watch a horror movie, and kick it with my niggas on the stream, bruh. That's it. I'm not really a party animal. And what's funny? Even when I went to Raleigh, I spent like 3 or 4 hours running, just running around, doing push-ups in the park, looking like a madman. Whew. Once you hit like 45 and you got no family and kids, and all your elder family passed on, you're gonna have a wake up call. I don't know, maybe. I don't know, maybe. If that's the case, then whatever. But that's what people, I think anybody will say. And I guess really I can't blame them for thinking that. But this I don't know. All I can say is that I feel like I'm gonna be okay. What can I say? I feel like I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, I mean, I get it though. I felt that way when I was like in my early 20s. I was worried about how I would feel about being single and a virgin at 30. And then what I realized was that, the older I got, the less it mattered, the less I cared. It didn't get worse, it only got better. So again, man, it's like I can't blame people for feeling that way. But the other thing too, because I was just having this conversation on Twitter or X, because this was kind of like the topic of conversation that kind of stemmed from, I don't know if you guys know him, but Stephen Molyneux, he's like a philosopher guy on YouTube, and he talked about like a lot of different things. He had a great YouTube channel, but YouTube, they unjustly banned. I mean, one of the worst examples of somebody being banned. I mean, that was like a tragedy when he got banned. But he's on X now, and there was like a big conversation about like solitude and family and shit like that. But yeah, basically like a lot of people were talking about, what it's like getting older and not having kids or not having this or that. And there's one thing that kind of stood out to me about the conversation though, and is that people always say when you get old, when you get older, when you get right. And I'm like, if it's that, like, what are people really afraid of? Is being alone bad, or are you just afraid of getting old? Because they always pair it with, it's always when you get a certain age, or when you, and that's when I started to kind of realize I feel like what happens is that people have a fear, and I guess to a certain extent we all do, a fear of getting old, a fear of aging, and relationships, whether it be marriage and kids. I think that sort of eases the pain of getting old. I think that's, in a sense, people use that to mitigate the problems that go along with that in the various ways. Whether it's hoping you have somebody to help take care of you, or maybe you're the type of person that just gets lonely, and you want to have people around. You want to have a sense of purpose. And again, though, it's just like it. When I realized that, it only reinforces my decision to embrace being single, to embrace living the life the way that I am, because I feel like, why am I going to sit here and bring somebody into the world because I'm afraid of getting old, because I'm afraid of being alone? Like, and it's funny because selfishness is always attributed to people like myself, but I feel like it's actually the opposite. I'm so afraid of getting old and being alone, I'm gonna just drag somebody into existence because of that. So, again, how I'm gonna feel about it at 45, I don't know. 55, I don't know. But I'm gonna roll with it. Shit. I'm gonna roll with it. And if it fucks me up, so be it. But I'm rolling with it. But shit, maybe one day, some cute Keisha would come by and interrupt my plans of making it to 40-year-old virgin and beyond. Happy birthday, Big Daddy. Big Daddy Marco. Cat, welcome to the stream, Big Daddy Marco. I'm not quite ready for Big Daddy. I want to be Big Aniki for a few more years. I'm not. Come on, don't put the Unk status on me yet. Let me be Big Aniki a little bit longer. Maybe after 35, then like 35 Unk, 40 Big Daddy. We gotta, right? Is Big Aniki, Unk, Big Daddy in that order? Come on now. Some people say Tupac was an incel without the fame. He said when he was an average dude, girls would ignore him walking down the street. Yeah, I think I remember. I think I remember like an interview where he was talking about something like that. But yeah, as some guys really only hit their stride with women when they find a lot of success in life. Hold up. Happy birthday! Oh man, I'm a minute late, but I don't have the candles this time, so I'll just sip. We're gonna sip to that. 33, yeah. You know what's funny? That white woman at my job that I said is really nice. When she found out about my birthday, she told me her birthday is on the same day. We're both June 23rd. Crazy. And then that's when I realized that's why we have a vibe the way that we do. We're both cancers. I don't really believe in, birth signs and all that shit. But it is kind of funny that, like, me and her get along so well, and we're both born on the exact same day. I just thought that was a little funny. Riding an electric unicycle. Yeah, they are more responsive than any first party mainstream controller and more durable. There are many versions of it. Damn. So you telling me I gotta buy another one? Now I really want one. You said more responsive. I'm gonna hold off though. I'm gonna hold off. Let me be responsible and not just be spending money like I got it like that. Lord. Oh man. Chad, did you ever talk to Iris again? No. No. Iris. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I'm over. No, I'm playing. Iris. Iris, what a cute girl. So cutie. Um, I got rejected by Iris. I remember that now. And it stung for a little bit. And then I got the fuck over it. I got the fuck over it. And that's how it goes. And really, the same thing. I was telling you guys about that girl from the gym, the one that looked like a gremlin. But she had a boyfriend, so that was a different type of situation. But that kind of stung at first, and then I got over it. So I don't know how guys get to the point where they get rejected, and it's like I gotta kill the bitch. I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't understand that. Cause like I'll be sad about it for like 2 days and then I'll get over it. So I don't get it. But yeah. And then on top of that, like guys get mean and salty about this shit too. Like they'll start putting the girl down like that fucking bitch. Ah. But Iris was cool as fuck. I think, I just think it's unfortunate because I don't think Iris realized. I don't think she realized like how much I did not care about her rejecting me. Like that I could put that to the side and still be cool with her. I feel like she kind of assumed that I couldn't just like take the L and just keep it friendly. That or she found my personality to be offensive, which is also possible. Cause I remember when I was in her stream, I called her a 5. I called her mid, and I was not trying to be mean or anything. I was just been giving her accurate assessment of how I felt about her attractiveness level. And so maybe that was part of it too, because they called me out about that, and I was like, why would she be upset about that? I mean, because the way I see it, I still like you, so it shouldn't be that shouldn't be bad. That's not bad, right? As long as I like you. Shit. I used to mention Iris a lot before, but I saw Marco moved on from her. She rejected you already. She probably views you as a plan B. I think I was plan F. I'll put it like that. I was plan F. The and I talked about this before, but the Iris situation is really it's a good example of why I don't bother with dating though. And it's just girls got too many options. Maybe if Iris didn't have as many options, she would have accepted me. Possibly, I don't know. But yeah, it's just a good example of that. Girls got so many options, and unless they're trying to be a hoe, they can only pick one. And I don't know, it's something that I think about every time I see a girl that I find attractive. It's like, okay, I see a girl, I like her, she's attractive, but how many guys does she have orbiting her? From school to work, guys approaching her randomly online. You got to really think about that shit, bro. Like the odds of a girl like liking you and then having the space for you in her life amongst all the other guys that she could possibly have, you know, um, you know, that feeling, man, it just has always kept me from even trying with girls, because it's just like it really is a sense of hopelessness, to be honest. Because girls they just got so many options, and many of those options are at least better than me or the average guy. So it's just one of those things. But also, um, that's also overthinking because you don't know if you might just be have that perfect it factor to just jump the line. So she might have 30 guys or 30 options, but you might be to slide right into number one because you came in the right way or you got the right look, the right vibe. So You want to be successful with girls, you got to have like that. You got to be willing to fight through that bullshit, and I'm not willing to. I'm not willing to. Who is Iris? Iris, in fact, go to my YouTube channel and look up the Iris interview. She was a girl from the R9K board on 4chan that would post. And so I saw her and asked her if she wanted to do like a little like collaboration video, like where I interview her. And we did it. And while I was interviewing her, I fell deeply in love with her. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But while I was interviewing her, I realized that she was just really cool. And I don't know, we just had a good vibe. And even the people who watched it, they kind of felt like we would have made like a cute couple. And so I wasn't going to ask her out because I wanted to keep it professional. You know, I didn't want to be fraternizing with people that I'm interviewing, but I just said, fuck it, went ahead and asked her out. And, you know, she was basically like, no, you know, yeah. And then I was like, cool. And then I made a video about her rejecting me. And then it was kind of like a negative response going her way because I don't know, like a lot of people, they felt like she shouldn't have rejected me and they got mad at her. And then I felt bad because I was like, damn, I didn't expect them to react that way. And then I was trying to stay friendly with her. So I went to one of her streams, and then on that stream, it's like out of nowhere, she's like willing to give me a chance. And I'm like, what? And then long story short, that didn't work out. But that's a whole saga, basically. The Iris saga is a whole thing, man. You got to look at the videos pertaining to that. It's a whole saga. Would you upload some of your songs in AAC format somewhere? Because there is this game called Dead as Disco that lets you fight enemies to the beat of imported songs with the right format audio. I could do that. Yeah, I'll do it on the Patreon. Yeah. What song do you want? The YouTube glow up was unexpected. I've been making videos on this channel for almost 8 years now, and it suddenly started gaining views. It'd be like that sometimes, man. It'd be like that. You got to be consistent and persistent. Consistent and persistent. You know, I think I was stuck at like, what, 2,500 subs for a while, and then I put out the video about having a small dick, went up, then kind of, you know, slowed down a lot, and then I put out that recent video, Black Cell. So you never know, man. You just gotta keep being active. You gotta be active. You gotta keep going, man. I'm removing myself when the body starts to slow down at that point, to be honest. Come on, Hellbreaker. Come on now. We don't want to lose you that quick. At least hang in until like your brain go. I think that's the only way I want to leave early is like mental decline. I can deal with the physical shit because I've seen a lot of people. Again, you work around your weaknesses. You know, if you got bad knees, then lift heavy. You got a bad back, then I don't know, run, do something, do some damn Tai Chi or whatever. But the mind is the main thing for me. Like living with a deteriorating mind. Oh my God, that's the stuff of nightmares for me. I'm a big mind guy, you know. I'm more of a mind guy, so. Can't stay long, but wanted to give my regards. One step closer to the big 40. Gambo-san. Gambo-san. I know. Oh, man. I might make it. I don't know, man. I might make it, though. I might make it. My father is still agile and walks well at 70, but he takes like 12 different medications just to maintain that. Oh, my God. Yeah. Ugh. The single life can work out. Just don't be broke. I think if you get sick and you're completely alone, it can be brutal. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Sick and completely alone, you know. But the other thing about that too, though, is that people also got to understand that having a wife and kids is not like the perfect solution to solving that problem. My mom works in a nursing home. My mom works in a nursing home, and so I hear these stories all the time. Most of the people in a nursing home that are alone and being abused, being abused by underpaid nurses and laying in their own poop, they have kids, they've had wives, husbands, all that, and then they still ended up there. I'm just saying, you know, because people always try to throw that at people who are like single or like planning to be lifelong single, you know, cat women and all that. And I get it. I'm just saying that when people throw that around, it like it's the perfect absolute solution. Is not. It's, a lot of things can happen to fuck up that whole plan of, oh, my kids are gonna take care of me. I mean, you got to, like, people don't realize what it takes to really take care of a declining old person that can't do for themselves. Like, it's, and to think that your child in the prime of their life or close to it is going to want to deal with that instead of putting your ass in a damn nursing home and visiting you twice a year. I mean, I'm just saying, my mom works in a nursing home, so I know this shit. So I'm just saying, if that's your reasoning for having kids, you might want to be careful. You know, even one of the people that I work with, it's an older white lady in her 70s, and her health is kind of declining. And she's been married twice. She's been married twice, and both of her husbands died. So she doesn't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay, you need to get married so you have somebody take care of you. Where her husband's died. So, and at 70, she probably not going to be able to have much, you know, it's not going to be easy for her to find another, you know, lifelong mate. I'm just saying, man, it's not as simple as people make it out to be, you know. Really, real shit, and this is it just hit me. If you're concerned about how you're going to be taken care of in your old age, money is more important than money would do more for you than kids and a wife or a husband. Period. Money would do more for you. Like, people got to stop throwing that. You got to have a family. You got to take care of you. No, that might work out. But I'm saying, before you depend on that, go visit a nursing home and figure out who had how many kids and got married and all that, and then think about it. Money would do more for you in your old age than people, unfortunately, and that's the truth. If you're scared of that, make money. Make money, not babies. Babies might do it. They might work. But at least with money, the more money you make, the better quality care you'll be able to have. But even then, that's not guaranteed, you know. You might still be getting your ass whooped by a disgruntled nurse, so be careful. I think we just gotta accept that getting old sucks, man. It just fucking sucks. I think that's the unfortunate truth. It's very often needy people projecting on you their mental illness about being around people for the sake of it. Yeah, I noticed that too. People do have a tendency of like projecting shit like that, but you know, I think, you know, sometimes people just got to realize different people are built different. We have different strengths and weaknesses. You know, I think some people are just naturally better acclimated to like certain lifestyles than others. That, and there's also pressure from family members as well. Oh yeah, but I don't get that. I'm just being honest, I don't get that. Again, it's different over here. I despise these people with a passion, and they are because of a cause of a lot of my pain and other people and need to be removed. Hellbreaker, calm down, relax. human beings have kids is a normal thing that almost everybody is supposed to do. Well, I will agree that it's a normal thing, and human beings do have them. I actually talked to a Gen Xer, and he plays video games and does anime reviews, studies Japanese, sells books. He seems a bit cuckoo, but he seems happy, so there's hope. Yeah, that's kind of where I see myself as I age. You know, like you gotta have some type of purpose, you know. And I actually read a book about this. It's called Ikigai or something like that, and it's about like the old like people who live to like over 100. Like, damn, what the fuck? It's like the lifestyle and behaviors of people who live very long. And two of the main things is that one, they have a sense of purpose, so they have like goals that they feel passionate about, and two, they live active lifestyles, at least appropriate for their fitness level. So, you're over 100 years old, you ain't running around the block, but they'll do stuff like gardening or taking long walks and stuff like that, playing like little light games and whatnot, keeping their mind and their body stimulated. But yeah, that's honestly that's kind of how where I see myself as I get older. Like, just gotta have something that I'm passionate about creatively or something like that, just to keep the mind going. Happy 33. I know. Yeah, I know. We made it. I relate well with people that are my zodiac sign too. I always find it funny. I still don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in it either, but it's happened like at least a couple times for me. I remember one of my friends, he had another friend that lived in another part of the state. And he would always tell me, man, you guys are just alike. You guys are just alike. You're both cancers and this and that. I'm like, ain't no way, bro. I finally met this guy. He came down here and I'm like, bro, all right, how do I put it? It's like, how Goten and Trunks like they just go together like two peas in a pod, right? To form Gotenks. Hanging out with that dude, I felt like we could do the damn fusion dance and turn into something better. I mean, it was so weird. Like I when people say twin, I felt like that was like my brother and we barely knew each other. We barely I had met him like once before, but this was the first time we really hung out. And I remember like we walked from like my house to the store or something. And it was again, I felt it like I felt like I had known this dude my whole life or something, bro. Like I felt like I was with my brother or something. It was crazy. And we again barely hung out. But the other guy, he always told me, bro, like y'all are so similar. Y'all the same. And I was like, man, fuck that nigga. And then we started hanging out. I mean, it was crazy. I couldn't believe how quick that we just connected, man. And I'm telling you, bro, it's like me and him were one body and then somehow just got separated and went to different parts of the state. And then we finally met up. It was just crazy, man. But he was a cool guy. But I will say the major difference between me and him was that he was more like wild. Like he was fucking bitches and doing drugs and shit like that. So that's it's not as if we had everything in common, but it was just more so like a thought process and a vibe. Like we just connected on like a mind level. But it's like he was just more wild with his behavior. He wasn't as like inhibited and conservative as I am, but still just like really cool. Happy birthday to me, redo. Hey, cat, everybody, and Genter. Yeah. I share the same sign as Adolf and Marx, Lord. Iris said you were too old. Should have been hitting your age, bro. I think that was part of it too. But I don't think it was just that though. To be honest with you, I don't think it was just that. I think the guy she ended up getting with was like 27 or something, and I was like what 31 at the time, so it ain't like that big. But that was probably part of it for sure, you know. But I think Iris just had better options more than anything. But my age is starting to like get to that point where even if I met a girl that I like, it could be an issue, you know, and especially like with me because I look so young, so people will assume like I'm at least in my mid 20s or something, and then I can definitely see like a girl maybe liking me and then finding out how old I am and be like, oh no, that's too. But it depends though. It depends. Like that girl at the gym, she was like 22 or something like that. And I swear, if she didn't have a boyfriend, I think she would have. I think she would have went. She would have went for your boy. So it depends. I think it depends. But the Iris arc in the Chad Marco anime, yeah, the Iris arc. Oh man, one of my favorites. One of my favorites for sure. Oh yeah, we need some more Chad Marco arcs. Oh man, the Iris arc. I like that. I like that. Hmm. If I don't have a cybernetic implanted weapons, I don't. Oh yeah, you got to remember that too, Hellbreaker. Technology is advancing every. Nah, I can't die, bro. Fuck that. It's too much. It's too much cool shit happening. Other than like the World War III bullshit, things like AI and brain chips and whatnot. I mean, who knows what's gonna be possible for human beings going into the future? As long as the world isn't destroyed by nuclear hellfire, that is. But be a good parent. Problem solved. I don't think it's that simple, man. I hear you, Nico. I just don't think it's really that simple. Um, because it's so many variables. It's a lot of variables that go into that. Because it's like as your health is declining, are your kids even like suitable to deal with the unique health problems that you might have? Like my grandmother is in a nursing home, and like she's on a feeding tube because she had a stroke. Now my grandmother is lucky in the sense that my mom, her daughter, works at the same nursing home. So she got really like a lot of the people there don't have that. Your kid works at the nursing home. My grandmother is very lucky in that regard. Like she went out there because nobody's gonna care for you like your own kids. So she's very fortunate for that. Very, very fortunate. But the thing is, if not for that, because out of her five kids, let me see, um, one of her daughters dead, son died recently, and when he was alive, he wasn't visiting her. Other daughter doesn't visit her. One of them visits every now and then she has my mom, her oldest child. And so if not for my mom, she would not be getting she would not be getting that kind of care. So you think about it, she had to have five kids, and only one of them, only one of them is doing a significant amount of work to take care of her during her declining health and aging and old age. Only one out of five. So she had to make five to get one. Damn. Oh man. And then on top of that, if my mom didn't work at that nursing home, she wouldn't have the same amount of time spent with her. I think my mom would still put in an effort but the fact that she works there is a big part of why she's able to help out so much. I got it. This is this is the new strategy. You have kids and you push their ass into being nurses at a nursing home. You know how those Chinese parents, like, they force their kids to be like doctors and dentists and stuff. You force that motherfucker to be a nurse. You're gonna be a nurse, and you too, and you too. It's the only way to guarantee it, man. Marry a homie and checkmate the psyop. We ain't got to go that far, but he was cool. But I don't know, man. It just, I do worry that he was just a little bit too crazy, a little bit too crazy. I feel like in a sense, it's like he failed to control some of his more like primal urges. I'll put it like that. Like he didn't have that same, like, he's not a virgin, you know. He ain't like trying to stay out of trouble with women and shit. Like, he's not that type of person. And I think he probably would have benefited if he was, to be honest. Like really, I would say, like, imagine me, but I love to get high, and I love to fuck hoes. Just take me and add those two elements, and you got him. Just me, but I'm trying to fuck bitches and get high. That's him. Like, no difference. Just me and add those two things. Like, where the hoes at? Where the weed at? And that's him. Become an android, like Android 20 Hellbreaker. We might get that tech. We might get some of that tech, or at least like some anti-aging tech or something. Hold up. That energy drink giving me some gas. Hold up. Okay. Nursing home job, not a bad place to get a girlfriend and get mired by elderly ladies. You know, they just put out that article. Was it an article or something? They said that women that work as nurses tend to cheat the most. Nurses cheat the most. Let me type this in. Oh, no. No. Oh, no. How often do nurses cheat? It's hard to quantify just how much nurses cheat in the workplace. If you're a doctor or a nurse and have been working for a while in the workplace, chances are there is someone cheating in your workplace. The workplace can't really do anything about it if they aren't doing it in the hospital. Today we'll find out how often do nurses cheat. Marriages are complicated for a multitude of reasons. This article comes across like it's written by AI. Top 12 jobs where you are most likely to cheat. All right, so let me see. All right, 1, men trades, 2, women education. Where the damn nurse one at? Women. All right. Well, I saw it floating around. I saw it. Oh wait, it is there. There it is. Number 1, women medical. The number 1 spot for women was taken by the medical profession. 23% of women were doctors or nurses. But yeah, basically there was a lot of talk about this article or statistic that came out that said nurses cheat more than anybody else. And a lot of people attribute it to like the long hours and like just the type of environment where you're getting really personal with people and stuff like that. And you know, it kind of makes sense though when you think about it, because I feel like at certain jobs, it's like you go there and you go home. I mean, yeah, every job is like that to some extent, but it's like, what I mean is like there's a certain like detachment to the job, because you know you go there for like 6 to 8 hours. maybe you don't interact with people that much and things like that. So it's just a job. But I think the thing about working in a hospital or as a nurse is that you're there so long that it probably ends up feeling like a separate world. You know, like my job is just a job, but like if you, just for instance, as an example, if you're in the military, that's a separate world from your home life. If you're a professional wrestler on the road, that's a separate world from your home life. If you're a truck driver, it's like it's so separate. And I feel I can see how, like, if you work in like a hospital and you work like those 12-hour shifts and stuff, how that can just feel like I'm going to the other side of my life now. Cause my job don't feel like that. I just feel like I'm going here and I'm about to get the fuck out. I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna get out, and it is what it is. It's just paper, a little inflation. Wait, what's this paper? I've been a loner type dude for so long, it feels natural. I don't know any other way to operate. You know, I had a loner moment when I was at the movie theater in Raleigh. I was sandwiched between like these guys, and they were like eating popcorn, and I'm sitting there like I gotta listen to these niggas eat popcorn. Right? And it's like I like going to the movies and being around people and seeing how they react to shit. Like it's a cool experience, but I don't like being that close. Like I'm the type, even when I'm in a social environment like that, I want my own space. So it's like I if I'm going to the movies, I enjoy being around the people there, but it's like don't be too close to me. I want to be on a roll by myself or have like empty chairs next to me. I don't want people being like right next to me. So even when I'm out and enjoying like a more social setting, I still want my own space to, you know, I don't want to be like too close to people, to be honest. I'm glad my job is like that too. I got my own little cut, you know? When I get around women, I tend to feel even happier. Women are awesome. Let's just go ahead and say it. We love women over here. Now, you know, the reason why I bring that up, you know, I've had people ask me like why I talk about women so much, why I talk about girls and dating dynamics so much. And I think a lot of it is the expectation that people have or put on MGTOW guys or vocels is that we're supposed to be like completely uncaring about women or even hating women sometimes. And that's never been my thing. You know, I love women to death. Like I really like when I think back, even though I've never like been with a woman intimately, I cherish like all those little moments that I've ever had where a girl was nice to me or where I got choosing signals or was able to enjoy the company of women. Like I cherish those moments, bro. Like those like little gem memories for me in my mind. Like women are awesome. But you know, for me, it's always been just the fact that you know, I just don't want to deal with the bullshit that comes with trying to date. You know, basically, like when they say don't hate the player, hate the game, that's how I feel about women. I don't hate women. I just hate the dating game. I hate how hard it is for average guys. You know, that's really what it is for me. I just don't feel like putting in the work and doing all the bullshit that come with it. So I just tend to admire women from afar. But I don't know. I hate that expectation that people put on guys like me. Like I'm supposed to either hate women or I gotta disregard them, you know. And I think for me, I'm just like I just look at things realistically. You know, women are awesome. Women are great. It's great to be in the company of them. You know, when they're good people and whatnot. But it's just the dating shit, bro. You know, that's what makes shit so bad. That's what makes it hard. You know, like even going back to Iris. Iris was cool as fuck, but it's like when you throw that dating part into it, now it's like, yeah, she's cool, but she has like a endless amount of male options, and so now you got to deal with that, and you know, it's that sort of thing. You know, but women are great. Women are awesome, man. I've never felt a connection like that to anyone else in my life, but I've heard of it. I don't think I would ever experience that in life. It's strange. I ain't even gonna lie. It's like even like my best friend, like my best friend. Like we are cool. I love hanging out with the nigga. But even we didn't click like that. Like that and just so effortlessly and easy. In fact, like it was because it's like with me and my best friend, we are very cool, like real friendship. But it's like we're separate in terms of like our personality types. We're similar but also separate. And I think with him, it was just we had such a similar personality type, and that's why it felt like that. You know, because it's like you can have a great friend, a best friend, and you guys have like, but be like different from each other in a significant way. And with him, that difference wasn't really there outside of again, you know, his lust for hoes and drugs. But it really was again. You meet somebody like that, it's very interesting. I've met a few interesting people in my life. I remember there was this one guy that I went to school with, and we kind of lost contact as you leave school, people go their different ways and shit. And a few years later, we ended up meeting again because he got into music and rap, and so me and some other guys and him, we were like hanging out, kicking it and rapping and shit. And the interesting thing about this guy was like, I'll put it like this. Imagine you meet like a celebrity before they become famous. Like he had that type of energy. Like when you like around him is like, this is somebody that is like has the potential to be like famous and do like great things. Like he had that type of energy. And I'm not saying that like this is like some amazing accomplishment, but years later I ended up seeing him on the I think the Pop the Balloon show, the one with Sexy Red. Like he was up there, and I think him and his brother got selected by Sexy Red. So it's funny because I always thought he had that energy to like get to like a certain level of recognition, and there he was on like the little Pop the Balloon show with Sexy Red years later. But yeah, I've met a few interesting people. Irish just likes them white or brown light skinned dudes. Let's just call it. Let's just call it what it is. I don't know. I don't want to put that on her because I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I will always boil it down to options. I think I was a victim of female options, as many men tend to be. Nagatoro, that name is familiar. Who the fuck is that again? I have a big family. There's no doubt in my mind that any of them would do anything for each other. Most people's behavior today, I do not approve. Well, I mean that's good too. If you got a big like close knit family, we don't have that too. That's so some of that on my end is just how my family is. We're not a very close family. Even in my own household, it's kind of like everybody stays to themselves. Like me and my mom, of course we talk and tag team different issues and whatnot. But my mom, she always refers to this house as an apartment because like it's like everybody be in their own room doing their own thing. We don't have like family dinners and shit like that, and we barely go out together and whatnot. So it's like really on this side we're all just introverts. So we're just not that type of people, to be honest. Maybe that's where I get it from. I probably get it from my damn mama. Morbid Trinity, welcome to the stream. Bro, I'm finna send an escort through your crib. Happy birthday, LOL. Look, I gotta ask you, how you gonna afford the escort? How you gonna like hold up now? Hold up now. Something ain't adding up. Something ain't adding up. Unless it's one of them ones that ain't got no teeth that be walking around 3 o'clock in the morning. Like you're a Craigslist escort. Women just have a different vibe. Stam leader, welcome to the stream. Women just have a different vibe. Yeah, it's the divine feminine, as they say. You know, Craigslist escort. Why you delete that? I saw that Craigslist escort. Oh man, I ain't gonna lie. You know, I love going to the gym, and it's always best when it's damn near empty because you use any machine you want to, you do what you want to do. But you know, when the hole's in there, it's definitely like a testosterone boost. You know, you get that. You know, it's the cheerleader effect. You know, it's the energy, man. I just found your channel a few days ago. I saw your latest vid on being a badass versus just being an asshole. It kind of hit. Hey, hey. I know, like that video might go over some people's heads because I think that the whole nice guy thing has been so prevalent in recent years. So a lot of guys have been running away from that label. And I was just saying, I just worry about guys overcorrecting, you know, legitimate like bad behavior of being like too nice and then overcorrecting into being an asshole. Because it's so effective, and we got like that's the thing of it. It is fucking effective. You know, it's kind of like we look at a guy like Andrew Tate. You know, women have so much to say about him, so many negative things to say about him, but at the end of the day, still he's been wildly successful with women. So there must be something about that arrogant asshole type of demeanor that works. So I can't really blame guys for taking on that energy in order to be more successful with women. But again, I just worry, like to me, it just always just doesn't seem wise, you know, when you mold so much of your behavior according to what women want as opposed to, you know, what's logical or what's reasonable. But it depends. I found one for free. I don't want that one. Hey, oh no. You keep that one for yourself. If somebody ever told me, hey, I got an escort for you and it was free, stop right there. I'm good. Even free women ain't free. So you know it's bad if a nigga found a free escort. Free women ain't free. Even an average chick gonna at least expect a date. Some McDonald's, go to a bowling alley or something. An average chick gonna want something. A free escort? Man. Hold up. In fact, let me see if I can find a free escort real quick. I think I can find one. Let me see. Let me see. Where did hold up? Let me see. Hold up. Let me see if I can find. I'm gonna show y'all a free escort. I'm gonna show you guys a free escort.
The number one food for regular BMs, huh? Oh,
regular BMs. Oh, bowel movement. That's an ad. I'm gonna show you guys a free escort real quick. Fair use, by the way. Fair use, by the way. Hold on, let me see.
I get real emotional, but it's hard. It's really hard right now for me.
What are you struggling out here with now, Maya? What are all your struggles?
Monday.com's AI blocks are a total game changer.
excuse me.
They hit me with an ad after like 10 seconds.
So the relationship that I was and before, with Bam, we haven't been together in over a year. He got locked up, but for the last like 9 months, I've been in an extremely toxic relationship to where I just felt like I had to do things. I'm going.
Do you need a loan for your
But they killing me with the ad. But you see, you get the point. You get the point. That's a free escort, right? Shit, she might even be $10. So free might be worse. Oh man. Bruh. Free? You talking about fentanyl addict off the rip? Off the rip. Woo! Blow out the cake, Marco, or the cake. Yeah, normally I have like a honey bun with some candles in it. I ain't like said. Oh, but you know what? One of my coworkers, this old white lady, she said when I come back, she gonna have some home baked cookies for me. I'm like, oh, oh. You know what's funny though? This old white lady, she be getting on my damn nerves cause she's like, like a Karen, like the whole Karen thing. She's like that, but at another level because she's like 70 or something. So she's like, we get along. I'll put it like that. But how do I put it? It's like, I don't know, like she could be nitpicky about like certain ways that people do the job. Cause she has like seniority over me. So, if the supervisor isn't around to tell me something or to correct something I did wrong, then she's there. And women to me can just annoying when they try to correct my behaviors. I don't know. So, but overall we get along. But kind of a funny story. She's really into like baking people stuff for their birthdays and whatnot. So we had this one guy who used to work with us, and so she baked the whole cake for him. She baked the whole cake for him for his birthday. But now, for his birthday, he took the day off. And so she brought the cake in the next day when he was supposed to show up. Didn't show up. And so the funny thing is, this guy he took one day off, then 2, then 3. And so the whole time we just eating more and more of this nigga cake. Like the first day we ate like a quarter of it. The second day we ate half of it. And then the last day that shit was just gone. But long story short, he ended up getting fired because he took one day off for his birthday, and like I guess he partied so hard that he just couldn't make it back. And because he was a known alcoholic. So I think that's basically what happened. Like he partied a little bit too hard and just never showed up again. And so it was funny, but kind of sad too, because she baked the whole cake for this nigga. And then we ended up having to eat the cake because he never showed up back to work. Some good ass cake too. If a girl don't want me for me, I don't care about a romantic relationship with her. I'm not gonna want to live with a mask for the rest of my life. So why bother? Stam, you're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir. But that's why I always prioritize being myself. Because you don't want to be in a situation where people in your personal life don't accept you for who you are. Because it's going to make it stressful. You got to deal with these people every day and wear a mask the whole time. I mean, to be fair, it's few people you can be completely unfiltered with, but you want to be able to be as close to yourself as possible when dealing with people in your personal life. You want to be able to be relaxed and in your own like comfortable energy and things like that. Because if you put on a show and an act to attract a woman, you got to maintain that. She's going to expect that. If you come in acting like Tupac, that's what she going to want. That was one of the coolest things about that girl that looked like a gremlin at the at the gym. I ain't trying to like put her down or nothing, but she did like a gremlin. But it was like just another example though, like of how I can be myself, but with the right girl, she'll like it, you know. And that's what was cool about those interactions with her was that like I was really like in Chad Marco mode, bro. Like I'm like shit to a certain extent. I'm trying to turn her off, and like she going for everything, bro. Like she going for everything. Oh man, I'm like damn. But I mean, that's that has to be more satisfying, man, than putting on a mask or being fake to get a girl. And sure, you might get her, but to meet somebody or to get a girl and while like really being yourself, like that's what I want. That's what I want more than anything. The sad part is a chick like that still wouldn't give Marco. So yeah, not me. Nah, she's probably used to dealing with like I don't know, probably like more aggressive, low inhibition type guys or whatever the case may be. But that's fine. Look, if I can't pull fentanyl addicts, then I accept that fate. I'm okay with this. I ain't complaining. I'm not complaining, bro. Actually, I had watched a few videos from her. With that guy, that YouTube channel, he does like these little short documentaries about people living in a very like dangerous area with a lot of drug addicts and homeless people. And she's one of the people he's interviewed several times. And she talked about having a boyfriend and how it was hard to maintain a relationship because she's prostituting on the side. And so she said like basically by the time she's done prostituting for the day, when she gets home, she's not in the mood for sex. So she had to blue ball her boyfriend quite a lot because of, you know, again, just not being in the mood for sex after fucking all day. And I was like, bro, like what? I mean, look, it's bad enough you're dating a fentanyl head. But you can't even fuck her at the end of the day because she's been prostituting. I mean, dude, God, bro. The shit people tolerate in a relationship. I mean, if he's a fentanyl addict too, then I guess it balances out, right? I guess it's like the whole looks match thing, but instead of looks matching, you're drug matching, like drug addict matching. That's actually a pretty interesting topic, drug addict matching. I think that was the problem with my mom, you know, when she was dating my step nigga, the crackhead. They weren't drug addict matched. She was sober and he was a crackhead, so something to think about. What would you say to your 21-year-old self if you could use the Brave browser? Oh yeah, I have a Brave browser, but that has porn all over it. That's the Brave browser. I got to be careful when I bring up my Brave browser because it's porned out, bookmarks and all that shit. Like I don't even know. Like I had like 12 tabs up of porn earlier from a FAP. So I use Internet Explorer when I'm streaming because I know it's pretty clean. But what would I tell my 21-year-old self if I could? Damn. I don't know. I really, I don't know. Like, the smart thing to do would just be to tell him, like, what to bet on in sports to make money. To be real with you, I feel like anything that I would have told myself when I was that age, it was probably something that I already knew. To be real, And I'm not trying to say that like I'm all wise or anything like that, but I think my problem was not necessarily what I didn't know. It was not applying what I knew. Knowing is one thing, applying it is different. It's a whole nother. I think my issue has always been applying what I know. And so it's like that question just doesn't really excite me because again, it's like I feel like my issue back then wasn't a lack of knowledge. It was just a lack of applying myself, you know. So if anything, I would just have to give myself a pep talk. Hey, nigga, apply yourself. Use your time wisely. But you again, anything I would have told myself then, I already knew it. I just won't doing it. So damn, it's got to be something though. It's got to be something. It's good. So hold on, let me think about it a little bit more. Maybe I need to tell him something more specific. No. No, tempting, but no. You know, for a second, I thought about, some of those times in my life where I got choosing signals and just completely dropped the ball. Like if hey man, like this, remember, like this is gonna happen with a girl, go for it. But then it's like, nah. Because at that age, I was definitely not wise enough to deal with relationships and women. So the fact that I missed those opportunities was more than likely a good thing. So no, nothing to do with girls. Like I feel like making it to at least 30-year-old virgin necessary. At least that. I think now I'm at the point where I could handle having a girlfriend, where I could deal with it. It's just I don't feel like dealing with the bullshit, but I think I could better deal with it now. But anything before 30, no. So nothing to do with girls. I'll take all those L's. I'll take all those. That's good. So, get a job sooner. That's what I would tell. Get a job sooner. Yeah. And get a job sooner. And I would tell him, get the job that I have now. But at 25. I would say all right, you 21 and you're doing your neat thing. That's great. Have fun. Enjoy that for another 4 years. Right? I give you 4 more years. But at 25, get this job. Boom. That's what I would tell him. At 20, that's what I would tell that motherfucker. Like, you got 4 more years of neat. But at 25, get this job. And the reason why is because I like the job that I have. And I think one of the fears that I had and a lot of neets have, and it's a very reasonable fear, is getting a job that you hate, like soul crushing, soul destroying. Oh my God. And my job isn't like that. So it's like, if I tell him that, then you're ahead much more than me as far as like your savings and being able to do more with what. So yeah, definitely get a job at 25, get this job and stay on, and last thing, stay on your MGTOW shit till at least 30. At least like stay on that till at least 30. Now I at least did that right. Because if I give him that advice about the job, the the downside is that I'm probably gonna be more like socially active because of that money, and more likely to get in trouble with girls. It's not highly likely, but I think it's a that's the main thing I'd be worried about. Is because just the way having money opens up opportunities for like socializing and doing things and shit. I'd be worried about that. That's why I would have to tell them, get the job, get this job, 25, but stay MGTOW for at least 5 more years, and then consider 5 more years. That's what I would do though. Y'all a tight-knit online community. I was looking to see if there was a Discord, but couldn't find a live link. There is a Discord, but I've been a little inactive on it. The other guys have been maintaining it for me. But I'm going to do another invite link pretty soon, so look out for that. Super Saiyan 2 Karen. Exactly. Most Karens, we think of them at like 40 or 40, like 40, something like that. She like 70s or so. She got years of Karen experience. Like overall we get along. It's just the problem with her is that she has so much seniority over me. So she has the authority to correct me, and sometimes when she's correcting me, it's based on her own opinion of how something should be done, as opposed to, what the supervisor might say or the boss might say, and that's kind of the issue with her. But overall, we get along. She's a sweet old lady, but she's a bit ornery. I'll put it like that. The thing about options is, what's up with all of these no kids, no husband, 40 plus women? The situation is complicated also. What's up with all these no kids, no husband, 40 plus women? Oh, okay. So are you saying like older women who don't have options? Is that what you're saying? Well, we're not thinking about, look, at least I don't think so. Most of us, we're not even thinking about trying to date old bitches anyway. I'm mostly talking about like girls in like their 20s and maybe 30s and shit, But options do tend to deteriorate as women age, that's for sure. But I'll say this too, because there's a YouTube channel from a girl that commented on the Black Cell video, and I checked out her channel, and she talks about some of these things. But one of the things that she talked about that I thought was pretty interesting and accurate was like when guys talk about like girls hitting the wall and whatnot, and like whether it be single mothers or women just getting old, she talked about how a lot of it just comes down to how attractive a woman is. So as long as a woman is attractive, she has options. So if a woman is a single mother, it's bad. If she's ugly and fat, it's not as much of a problem if she's still attractive. If a woman is in her 40s and single, no husband, no kids, that's bad if she's fat and ugly. But if she's one of those like few rare attractive older women, then she'll be all right. In fact, I got a good example of this. One of my friends, his mom, for her age, like 40s up until her like early 50s. I'm not exactly sure how old she is now, but she looks okay for a woman in her 40s and whatnot. She's like short, kind of like petite, got like a feminine shape to her, got the slim upper body and it got little hips, just kind of cute. Nothing amazing, but for her age, I put it like that. For her age, it's like, okay. And I remember one of her boyfriends was an ex-football player, like professional football player. And I think the guy that she's with now is pretty well off. Like not rich, but like good money. And they're in a serious relationship together. Now, he already had a couple kids of his own, as does she. But the point is, because she's an attractive older woman, she was able to still find a good man to be with in her later years. So that's the thing. Look, this is the thing that I realize about women. Attractive women do not lose unless they just stupid. You got to be retarded. Attractive women don't lose unless they're retarded. Because I saw this clip. You guys know who Candace Owens is, right? She was talking about like women being hoes and how, being a hoe is going to ruin your life and all that. And I was watching that shit and I could not disagree more, because a woman can be a hoe and still pivot to being like a housewife, a mother, and all that shit. I mean, just look at Riley Reid, the porn star. I mean, she was doing interracial gangbang porn for years, and then she did a smooth pivot into married with a kid, with a beta bucks provider. Even though she don't need beta bucks because she's a fucking millionaire from, sex work. But and the thing about her is that, like, she's a hoe and everybody knows she a hoe, and she still pivoted to wife and kid in a normal life. Well, as normal as you can have when all your freak offs are online. But now think about the girls that are hoes but on the down low. Think about the girls that are hoes, but they're not doing porn. They're not doing OnlyFans. They just regular hoes. Like they ain't college hoes, work hoes, nurse hoes. And then like for instance, let's say a girl works as a nurse and she just hoeing hard. And then she moved to another state. She can start over and pivot right into being a wife. And all that. And now the only thing that makes it a little bit harder to cover your tracks is your digital footprint. That's the thing about that. So, but even then, there's plenty of guys that put up with it. But I'm just saying, pretty girls don't lose. That's all I'm saying. Pretty girls don't lose. But at some point, you got to cash in your chips. I'll say that too. Because nobody is beautiful forever. Nobody is going to be beautiful. Like at best, even for the best of women, you might be able to play that pretty card up until your 50s. But after that, everybody ugly after 60. Everybody ugly after 60. So, but the reality is that women can be hoes and make all kind of mistakes as long as they're attractive. And there's always going to be a guy that's going to bail them out. They ain't even got to be that attractive. I'm just saying. There's not enough Chad or Tyrone for everyone, so they end up alone. Yeah, there's only so many like genetically gifted among us, There's only so that's the thing about it. That's the thing. There's only so many of them, You want that guy that's 6 foot something and a certain amount of money, But if they have it in them to settle for a beta, then they can still have at least a okay life. They just won't have the Chad. But maybe some of them won't even do that. It's hard to undo the effects of the ugly pill, undesirable pill, getting a girl who thinks she can't do better and therefore is obsessed with you changes your life. You know what? I know you guys heard that song, If You Want a Happy Life, Get an Ugly Wife. Maybe it's true. Look, I don't want no ugly bitch. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I feel like my standards are pretty reasonable. I don't want an ugly bitch or definitely a whale, but shit, she ain't gotta be a baddie, an Instagram baddie. But the point is, if you want a girl that's gonna be that way towards you, and you're not Chad, like you're average, might have to be an ugly bitch, bro. Might have to be an ugly bitch. It just might have to be. I mean, just it's something to think about. I know, man. I ain't trying to go out like that either. You know what's funny though? Even with that girl from the gym, I really liked her. I liked her personality. But I'm kind of glad that it didn't work out either. That she already had a boyfriend, because I don't want my girlfriend to be ugly. I don't want an ugly girlfriend. I really don't. I want a girl that is both attractive, at least to me, and has a good personality. You know, I want the balance of both. But I do think there is some truth to that song though, man. I do think because I think a lot of like what you're talking about as far as like getting a girl who thinks she can't do better and is obsessed with you, that means there has to be some sort of a gap, either financially or in terms of looks. If you're an average guy and you with an average girl, she can definitely do better than you. But if you're an average guy with an ugly girl, she can probably still do better than you, but I think she'll appreciate you more, you know, because she's going to feel like, you know, damn, I got somebody who is more attractive than I am, you know. Yeah, he ain't like the 6'3", you know, muscular, square jaw Chad, but shit, it's an upgrade for me. But nah, man, I ain't trying to go out like that, bro. It's like, Lord, man, I don't want no ugly girlfriend. I don't want no ugly girlfriend, man. Damn. Come on, man. Come on, God. Do me a solid. A chick is legit choosing you, but you think she playing games, so you avoid being embarrassed. I think a lot of times with me, like during times where I might have gotten choosing signals, I just always assume the worst. I think that's with me. I always assume the worst. Like I give you an example, right? And this happened like last week or so. I was in the Dollar Tree. And let me see. There was like this skinny girl that walked past me as I'm on the aisle looking at potato chips. Like she walked past me and I didn't really pay attention to her. But, you know, I'm a guy, so I want to see what her butt looked like. So I'm like, okay, when she gets to like the end of the aisle, I'm going to look at her butt real quick, you know, and then I'm going to just go back to looking at these chips. So she got to the end of the aisle and I looked to look at her butt. And right as I looked, I saw her turn around and look at me. And I said, damn, she caught me. I said, fuck, she caught me. And I felt a little embarrassed. But then she, like, maybe like a few seconds later, she circled back around and walked past me again, which I thought was weird because she didn't stop and look at nothing on the aisle. She just came back and walked right past me. Now, was that a choosing signal? Did she catch me looking and was like, oh, well, let me go by her again? Or was it just a coincidence? I don't know, but that's what girls do. Like, that could have been a choosing signal. It could have been a coincidence. But that's the type of stuff girls might do when they're trying to get a guy's attention, but they don't want to do anything like overt. You know, it kind of reminds me of a story by there's a legendary boxer named Sugar Ray Robinson, and he told a story about how he met his wife. So he was at the pool, and there was a girl that kept walking past him like boop boop boop, and he said if she do it one more time, I'm gonna push her into the pool. So she walked past, and he pushed her into the pool, and long story short, she ended up becoming his wife. But he caught what she was doing, basically, that she was trying to just be seen and get his attention, and she got it. But what that girl did could have been a choosing signal, or could have been a coincidence. But as a guy, you got to take those moments and act on them. If you want to have a chance with girls sometimes. But like I said, with me, when I'm in those situations, I always just assume that, you know, it's just a coincidence. Or if it's like a girl, like I'm talking to him or something, I assume she's just being nice. Shit like that. But that's my own like traumatized ass brain that I never bothered to fix. Want to receive a message from the future? I see in USA Now what my country was 50 years ago. Be careful with inflation. Saving doesn't work with inflation. What country are you from, Nico? Gas goaded. Happy 33rd. Hope you find elite fat material. Oh, I got it, bro. Look, I'm going to put y'all on game tonight. Where my gooners at? Stand up. No, but for real. Every now and then, you know, you find a website for porn, and it's like, you know, you do the AMS hand rub, like, yeah. I don't know if you guys know about this one. I don't know if you guys know about, what's it called? Erome. Erome. E-R-O-M-E. Erome. The reason why is because there is a lot of like, I mean, let's be real. Let's be honest. This is the age of amateur porn. You know, like that's where it's at now. OnlyFans and all that. Erome, man, got all the damn OnlyFans leaks and all that. Now the site is kind of sloppy as far as like shit being organized, and like and then on top of that, because people don't want to get their stuff taken down, they change the names a lot. So it's like, if it's a girl name, let's say her name is Flower Power. I'm just throwing some shit out there. Then they'll spell it like FL0W3R. So if you type her name in, you're probably not going to find it. But if you just get lucky enough to fucking come across that shit, you might find her whole goddamn OnlyFans collection. So I'm just saying, like, yeah, Erome is great for amateur porn and like coming across like a lot of like OnlyFans leaks and stuff like that. So these days, when I want a good fap, I find myself over there on Erome, man. That's where I've been at. Have you guys been on the EX hentai recently? Like, now, I'm excited about the possibilities of AI porn, but I gotta say, man, they need to add an option to filter that shit, because it's like half of EX hentai now is like AI porn, bro. Like people uploading AI porn. And for me, it's just not quite there to where I want to masturbate to it, to be honest with you. It ain't, you know, the hands still be off and shit, fucking 4 fingers, and, you know. It's some good ones, though. I've seen some good ones, too. Porn talk, man. Porn talk. Oh, not what I meant with the options thing. I meant if they had so many options, how come they didn't bag a hubby? I think a lot of times it's probably purposeful. If they now, if to me, I feel like if she's attractive and she doesn't have a husband, her standards are either very high or she doesn't want one. Or she had one and divorced him. I'll put it like that. If a woman is attractive, she can get damn near anything she wants. Now if she's not attractive or mid, and mid don't age well, then it might be an issue where she prolonged it for so long that now she can't, or she don't want to. That's the thing too. Like my mom, for instance, single. She been single for like since my step nigga, since we got him kicked out the damn house and he dead. Now she's had like, a boy toy and whatnot here and there, but the point is she's had a few guys like hitting on her and shit like that, even at her age. But my mom is like legit would rather be alone than deal with a lot of the guys her age. Because just like how women accumulate baggage as they age, men do too. A lot of the guys in her age bracket got health problems, kids, ex-wives, and shit like that. And my mom she's so independent. She's very independent and she likes to be in control of her space. And I think that's another thing too. It can be a control thing. I think that's one of those things that guys don't think about a lot. When women get married, depending on the type of guy he is, they got to give up a lot of that control, and follow the lead of a man. I think a lot of women don't want to do that shit. But, it's a lot that goes into that. Why is an older woman single? But my first guess is always going to be they're just not that attractive. I'm always going to blame it on that first and foremost. Drea Michelle, almost 40, and she just baby trapped a 23-year-old NBA player. Yes. Let's look her up right now for reasons. But I'm glad you brought her up because she's a perfect example of what I'm talking about as far as like beautiful women can't lose. Look at that. And that's the basketball player there. Right? And look at that. I mean, I would go for that now. Like, I would. Yep. I would. Yeah. Yep. I would bang this old broad. So this is what I'm saying. Yeah. Older, attractive women, they can still have a lot of good options. I mean, she got basketball player in his prime. Don't get much better than that for a woman. Look at her with her mid friends. Oh my God. I would hate to be her mid friend. Oh, look at her. She look like she be just cop blocking niggas too. God, man. Woo! Hold up. Now I done got this. I forgot I was streaming. I forgot I was streaming. Damn. But yeah, good example. Trap that nigga with a baby. I've looked up where how countries were during the Cold War, but yeah, the U.S. is becoming parallel to a lot of South American countries in this age. I mean, look, the way they open the damn borders, shit, it's like they really are just trying to combine South America with North America. Like, just open the damn borders. What could go wrong? I be seeing so many damn Mexicans, bro. I went to Walmart today. Man, they had about 5, 6 buses full of Mexicans. It was more Mexicans than I think any other demographic. Yeah, a nice mix of white and black, but damn. Women age mostly in their 40s. Man, I don't know, dog. Look, you know, when I got on Tinder, because I had recently, and I'll probably talk about this in the upcoming video, but I was trying to find a girl to be in a music video, basically. And Kayla, she be acting like she ain't got no hoes, so I couldn't depend on her. So I said, "Damn, I don't know any hoes. Like I need, I need a girl for a music video or something." And so I got the wise idea, not wise, to try to find one on Tinder, right? And obviously that didn't work, but I did see some interesting things on Tinder. And what I saw was, with my age being, well, at the time 32, I'm getting like more women in their 30s showing up to swipe, right? And I'm looking at the difference between like women in their 20s and their 30s. I'm like, yo, like women, I don't want to sound mean, bro, but it's a big difference. Women in their 20s versus 30s, it's a hard fucking line, bro. It is point A and B and a line between that shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened between 29 and 30, but shit. I was like, yo, the women my age be looking rough. Oh man. I wonder if I can find that video real quick. I probably can't. I can't. I probably can't. Let me just try real quick. Oh man. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta show something real quick. I've been noticing this on X. You guys know Stephen Molyneux. He's been like really getting on people for not wanting to have kids. He one of them niggas. Let me see. Look at Stephen Molyneux here. All due respect, because I like the guy. I love his videos on philosophy, but this is one of the things I've always disagreed with him on. But look at him. I have no patience for people who complain that they are too poor to have children. Go talk to your ancestors who lived on tree bark and snakes. Nigga, I'm not trying to live on no damn tree bark and snakes. If they had your excuses, you wouldn't even exist. Pay it forward. No. God damn. I don't get people like this, to be honest with you. Like being so concerned about other people having kids and shit like that. Your ancestors had to face down and survive people like Vikings and Genghis Khan. You complain about feminists. Yes. Yes, we do. Your ancestors live on about 500 a year and raise at least half a dozen children. What the hell is your excuse? I want to be happy. and I want my kids to have a lot of to have good quality of life, not eating cornflakes with water in it. But yeah, he's one of them niggas, bruh. Let me see what people's. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a good conversation, though. It's a good, but I'll never understand that. I'll never understand like that. Just make babies no matter what shit. You know, like just looking at somebody because they did it in worse conditions. I don't want to live like them niggas, bruh. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not trying to be out here struggling, eating tree bark and snake. You know what? Though? I think really what it is that people who don't want to have kids, they like being happy. They like being stress free. You know, and I think that's kind of the interesting thing about this conversation that is like very real, but it's not talked about. Like when you look at so much of like human innovation and where we've come from and where we are, there's one thing about us that cannot be denied. Like we do not want to struggle unnecessarily. So we do a lot of shit to make life easier. You know, it's like, why don't we walk to work instead of driving or taking the bus or taking the bike? Because it's harder, it's more work. You know, why do we have cell phones instead of mailing a letter or fucking running halfway across town to tell somebody something that we could text them? I think a lot of what we do is because we want to like down or reduce, you know, stress and problems in our life. And I think a lot of people who don't want to have kids, I think a lot of it just comes down to that. You know, we don't want to, we ain't trying to struggle, man. I mean, I'll say that proudly. I ain't trying to be struggling for no goddamn tree bark and snakes. Fuck that. That is not the way to try to convince people to have kids, bro. I feel like really the problem with Stefan and like Elon Musk and shit is like they try to shame people into that's really what it is. It's like when you don't have logic and reason or a reward to offer in order to convince people to do what you want them to do, you try to shame them. And I think my generation, we're beyond that. The motherfuckers who don't want to have kids, they're not gonna have kids. The people who want to have them, they'll have them. I think that's really what it comes down to. But I don't know. Maybe Ebony. Maybe I'll do another video about that shit. I was looking for something. Hold up. Let me see. Because what I'm gonna type in, porn might come up. Let me see. Hold. No. Poor miss. No, I don't know. I might not be able to find it. It was a greatest. There we. Okay, I'll find it. Now, if I can find recorded. Okay. I think she lying, but damn. Hold up, give me a second here. You see on these platforms. Damn. Hold up. Fuck. I know that bitch lying though. All right, I can't find it. But anyway, I saw a video of this young dude, and he was like trying to hit on this older woman. It was on X, but I can't find it. Oh, but there she go. I found her picture. I found her. Oh, we got it. Hold up. Now I'm not. I say this with all due respect, but we are the same age. In that video, she said she was 33 years old. We are the same age. Like, bro. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Dang. On it. I'm just now look, with that being said, I probably would hit because in that video, You can see more of the body, but dude, if I told you like this is my mom, if you didn't know how old I was, and I told you this was my mom, other than her being like light skinned, bro, I'm just saying. And so when I was on Tinder and I was seeing women in their 30s, bro, I was just like, damn, bro, what, man. Let me get this off. I would though, and you know, I ain't trying to be mean. I probably knock that down too. My standards ain't that high. I tried making it work with some good looking girls before. I prefer a 6'10" these days. You know. Okay. I see what you're saying though, and I think I feel the same way. Because I think you got to look at things in their totality. You can't just look at one aspect of it. So it's like when I see a very attractive woman, and we got to be honest, you know, beauty is value. Beauty is value. So when you see a very attractive woman, you have to understand that because of her attractiveness, she can command a certain amount of like standards and expectations from men as far as like money, look, status, and things like that. So it's like when I look at women, it's almost like shopping. You know, if I see a super computer with 16 cores and 124 RAM or some shit, like, you know, I don't know the specs of a ultra computer, but I'm just throwing some shit out there. But if I see a computer that's like $2,000, it's like, okay, that's out of my range. I got to find something that I can actually afford. You know, when I see very attractive women, I basically see something that I can't afford because I know the options that they have available to them are going to be much better than me. I mean, no shade to myself, but it is what it is. You know, it's just something that we got to be honest about. So when I see attractive women, I don't just see the physical beauty, I see the cost. And so it's like, I'm like, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I can barely afford a 6. But the 5 and 6 range is ideal. It's because it's the balance between like them being attractive, but not being too attractive to where the cost is going to be higher than what I can actually afford. Ooh, whoa. I think I got backed up again. I understand that hoes can pivot into a beta, but that move doesn't have a 99% success rate. The total number is quite big. What will become of them? I don't know. Look, everybody ain't gonna win too. This another thing that people gotta realize. You know, I think we're setting this expectation of everybody having someone to hold and to cherish. Life and is just not that fair. You know, a lot of us are gonna die alone in our own poop, regardless of the decisions that we make, good or bad. Everybody not gonna win. And I think that's another thing that we just got to accept about dating and mating. Everybody ain't going to win. So what will become of them? I don't know. Some of them will make it. Some of them won't. But the same can be said for us too. You know, I think the ones who have a sizable advantage are going to be the attractive ones though, for sure. And I think for men, the ones that are going to have a sizable advantage are going to be the ones that have a lot of like resources, status, and things like that. You know, because even men hit a physical or the physical wall, if you will. But man, money is so valuable. Money is so nice, right? Gooner gang, Goon Squad. I'm happy to be amongst like-minded men. Oh man. Chad fapping to Fran. Who the fuck is Fran? Ain't that girl from the elf girl from that anime? I just got back on the no fap grind. I'll get on it after my birthday is up. I'll put it like that. I've been mostly focusing on just like keeping it to a minimum, keeping it balanced. AI just isn't as peak compared to a well drawn out Ace game. Oh man, I'm still tripping on Karen's prison, bruh. Rip Illusion Soft. Ooh, what happened with them? Tyrone, welcome. Morbid Trinity. It's a birthday stream, I think. I think it is. I know it don't look like it, but it's just because I don't have a lot of friends. It's okay. I'll be just fine. Let's just take a moment to be grateful for having no kids and serious health problems at our age. A toast to that. A toast to that, man. Man, you know, we were just talking about that because of those Stephen Molyneux posts. And like I said, man, I got a lot of respect for him, but he's one of those guys, man, that just feels like everybody should have kids no matter what. And, you know, I've been kind of thinking about the like what makes people think like that. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that when you have kids, like there is no greater action of buying into the system that you live in than having kids, you know, because you know, their survival and their lifestyle is going to be based on the system that you live under as well. And I think a sustainable system requires like not everyone, but a lot of people to buy into it. And essentially when like guys like us who don't want to get married and don't want to have kids, we're not buying into the system. You know, we're like anti-system people. And I think like people like Stefan, like they again, it's like as smart as he is, I don't see how he can't see it. But that's just my interpretation of people like him. It's like basically like they buy into the system. And so they recognize us as being anti-system. So we just can't see eye to eye on some of these subjects. Jordan Peterson's the same way, you know. And I think what's even crazier, though, is that, you know, people like Stefan, like he recognizes the issues with marriage and the laws and things like that, but he still is pushing guys towards, you know, that destination. And that's why, again, as much as I like him, I feel like they're not really helping guys when they do that, you know, because I think there's a certain understanding of that. Like realistically, we're not going to change the laws and feminism and the system to our benefit anytime soon. And that's why you have things like red pill, MGTOW, vote sale, all that shit, you know. But I think guys like him who buy into the system regardless and maybe even find some success in it, they can't help but try to push guys into the same into the same lifestyle and way. I think to a certain extent, I just find it to be kind of selfish, to be honest, you know, because it's like you understand that it's wrong, that there's so many problems with it, but you're still pushing guys into it, you know, because you know you can't fix it, but you still want to buy into it, basically. And that's why Coach Greg Adams is one of like the guys I have the most respect for as far as like talking about these problems, because it's like he understands the issues in terms of the laws and the culture, society, and all of that. He's not pushing guys to put themselves in a bad situation. Like he understands the system is fucked, so you got to find another way to adapt, you know, as opposed to this. Yeah, the system is fucked, but just man up, bro. Your ancestors ate tree bark and snakes, so you should do the same. Fuck that tree bark, nigga. I want Chips Ahoy and chicken tenders. Fuck them damn tree bark. What the hell is wrong with these niggas? Marco always cracks me up talking about Mexicans at Walmart. Bruh, like, they be deep. Them niggas deep at Walmart. They too deep. I mean, 5-6 buses full of Mexicans, bro. Even more reason not to increase the wage now. Wait, what the hell were we talking about then? Those bad lifestyle choices and Chad DNA and STDs finally catching up to them at 30. Some people say it's the party lifestyle, like the drinking and lack of sleep. I don't know what it is, bro. But just do it, you know. Get on Tinder, make a little fake ass profile if you got to, but look at the difference. I'm not saying there aren't any attractive women. I'm not saying there aren't any attractive women like that you'll see in their 30s. I'm just saying it's a difference, bro. Women in their 30s look every bit of it, and women in their 20s, like, yeah, you got some that just aren't very attractive. But it's like when you start looking at women in their 30s, it's like the number of women that are like, yeah, it's like it goes down dramatically, man. Whew, God. And then people wonder why older guys want to date younger women, man. It's pretty self-explanatory. It begins at 26, but 50s is when they start to look like grandmas. Yeah. Yeah. So basically mid to late 20s is when that decline starts. I agree with the women in their 20s to 30s thing. I've been spooked many times. They looked old. Yeah. God. Women. Again, I hate to say it, but yeah, they age like milk. It's rare to see a woman that can really age gracefully to the point where they're competitive with women in their 20s, you know. I think, and not to say that men don't have a wall. You know, some people cope hard about men aging like wine and whoa. But I think that we have an advantage because of what makes us attractive is inherently different. You know, it's kind of like, I give you like a perfect example, right? Give me a perfect example. Like, I look at him as being a good example of what I'm talking about. I mean, he old as fuck now, but old as fuck now, but you know, you look at somebody like, let me see, like Clint Eastwood, right? In Good and the Bad and the Ugly. Like he might have been like what, close to 40 or around 40 even now, even then. You know, but when you look at him, yeah, he's an older man, but it's like it's a ruggedness to him, it's a roughness to him. You know, he looks capable and wise and strong. I think what the good thing about being a man is that even as you age, you know, that ruggedness, that roughness, it's like we wear it better. Whereas when a woman starts looking like rough and rugged, it don't help them at all. It don't help. Now, clearly, even Clint would have been more attractive younger, but I'm just saying that, you know, the roughness and ruggedness that comes with age, it's like it suits us better as men, and it don't really help. It just doesn't help women at all, you know. But I think he's a good example of that, because it's like handsome ages better than cute. That's another good way. Handsome age is better. I mean, well, I said, yeah, handsome age is better than being cute. And most women are dependent on being cute and soft and things like that. And you know what? I'll say this too. And maybe you might think this is a bit controversial. You might think this is a bit controversial. But Leonardo DiCaprio is another example of what I'm talking about. He aged like a woman. Like, you remember like Leonardo DiCaprio was like beautiful when he was like young, but once he hit like late 20s, like this Leo was short-lived, bro. Like, he did not look like this for a long time. And that's because he was like cute attractive. He was attractive almost like a feminine androgynous way. So once he even got like a little bit older, Like he just like this was like the last of him being like that attractive Leo. But even by the time he was in like The Departed, like he had already lost a lot of that. Let me see. The Revenant. No, that's definitely old Leo. Let me see. Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio, The Departed. The Departed. Okay. So he was still relatively young at this point, right? But you can already see, it ain't this. That might be kind of a bad shot. Hold up. Yeah, nah. It come on, bro. He looked like a chud. He looked all right on the cover there. That's a nice shot. But the point is, I think Leo kind of aged like a woman because his attractiveness was based on cute and soft and androgynous. And so he wasn't that attractive for very long. Again, he ain't ugly here, but it's like he's not like heartthrob mode anymore. He ain't like special attractive anymore, you know? And I think that's part of why women just tend to age worse than us, because their beauty is based on, again, cute, feminine, soft, and man's attractiveness can actually be like increased by like ruggedness and roughness, and you know, I think that's why, at least it has a lot to do with it. Man, if I could be like prime Leo, just imagine being 21-year-old Leo and the quality of pussy you would have got. It's only fair that every man gets to experience prime Leo, like just being prime Leo for like a week, just to kind of make life fair. It's a shame that like everyone can't experience what beautiful people do, you know? It's just gaslighting at this point. These guys are rich and well off, complaining that broke. Dude, you know what though? That's real as fuck. That's real as fuck. Stephen Molyneux sitting here. I know he got a lot of money, bro. I know he well off because them YouTube checks had to be nice before he got banned, and even before that, I think he probably had a good job and whatnot. But yeah, dude. These, like, it be the same motherfuckers that's living a middle class lifestyle or better, talking about you should have kids and be on food stamps. Damn Sam Hyde ass niggas. I swear these niggas kill me, bro, talking that bullshit. Talking about have kids and eat damn grass and eat grass and water and cornflakes. They sitting there, got their kids in private school, homeschooled, got a stay-at-home wife and shit, telling niggas to go out here and just do. I swear, bro. I don't know what the hell is the agenda, the psyop. I don't get these niggas, bro. But like I said, my theory is that they bought into the system and they understand the system is only sustainable when enough people buy into it. And people who don't have kids and don't get married and don't pay taxes and shit like that, we're not buying into the system. And so it's not good for them. And I think that's really like the deeper psychology to that mentality. Motherfucker, man, that shit crazy. Talk some damn tree bark. You don't get the hell out. Man, that shit don't kill me. I hate Elon Musk. I don't hate him. But I definitely don't think he's someone to have in a position of power. For sure. He's what Johnny from Cyberpunk 2077 would call a corpo. He's a corpo up and down, bro. People like Elon Musk are kind of dangerous in a way, you know, because his perspective on life is like ones and zeros, you know. I think everything is just like robotic to him. and so it's like I don't think he really considers like the human element of a lot of different like aspects of life and whatnot. Like his approach to like work and things like that, which can be great in terms of like building your empire. Don't get me wrong, but you know, people like him, CEOs, corpos, they look at people as, okay, who's gonna work the hardest for the least, and that's why you can't trust niggas like that, because that's the bottom line for them. Who will work the hardest for the least? And that's why you can't trust people like that. That's why you can't trust corpos. That's why you can't trust CEOs, the technocrats, because that's how it's ones and zeros. If I can replace your ass with a robot, I'll do it like that, because I don't give a fuck about you and your bills. I care about efficiency and productivity. So people like that, that's what makes them so dangerous. It's understandable to a certain extent. I'm just saying, you know, people have to understand that the goals of employee, employer, or, you know, CEO and below is not CEO and below. That's good. It's not the same. It's not in alignment. You know, so he might be a good person in his own way, but you know, I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust him. Those Curry sales got their own women though. They don't seem to date out. Can they? Shit. Shit. Who checking for Indian niggas other than Indian bitches? Man. But it's, man, why is, well, I know the answer to that, but it does seem like the incel thing is heavily connected with Indians. You know, I think a lot of it probably has to do with when they come over to America. They probably struggle a lot with dating, because in India is one thing, everybody damn Indian, but you come to America. Now your women, Indian women, they're probably looking at the white guys as being like above you. And so probably makes it a bit harder, you know, for dating. And then on top of that, when you're talking about immigration in general, men tend to hop countries more than women. And so you have a bunch of dudes from India coming over to these Western countries, and then, you know, it's more them than the women. And then the women that do come, you know, they gonna be looking at them white boys. you know what I'm saying? They gonna be looking at them white boys, man. Hold up. Yeah, this perfect picture. Now I know this is from fucking Nazi Germany, but the Indian girls come over, they start seeing these motherfuckers. They come over, they start seeing these motherfuckers, man. It's over, dog. That's why I feel bad for them Indian, bro. Oh man, you gotta compete with these fools. Look at them jaws. Look at that bone structure, bro. Oh no. Oh no. No, sir. Oh no. It's gonna be hard for y'all, man. I feel for you. I'm 40 next year and look better than I did 10 years ago. What were you doing 10 years ago? You damn. Men and women operate in different timelines. I feel like women in their 30s are like cougars, even if we are similar. Yeah. I feel exactly the same way, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I feel exactly the same way, bro. But you know, it's a lot of truth to that, like as far as like the timeline shit, because and a lot of it depends too, because you know you have guys like us, and we're on the extreme end of the spectrum as far as like being late bloomers. Some of us virgins and have just very little experience with women. But even for more like average guys, you know, if you think about it, an attractive young woman, she's been dating and having sex since she was a teenager, and then goes to college, and then moves out and goes out on her own. I mean, there's for a sexually active woman, there's a lot of fucking, there's a lot of dating, like there's a lot of sexual experience. There's a lot going on that's happening with them. And it's like by 30, they've had the dating lives like of 10 men, like 10 average dudes, I put it like that. As far as like sex and different boyfriends and orbiters and whatnot, their options, it's a lot. But essentially what's happening is that they're kind of like living fast in a way. So it's like by the time they're 30, they've already seen and done so much. They're just on a different level. You know, and it's the timeline, man. They're, like you said, they're on a completely different timeline. I mean, my timeline ain't even started. I ain't even got a damn timeline. I ain't even got my first kiss yet. Any girl I deal with is gonna have a lot of experience over me, unless I got lucky enough to find a virgin, which I'm not betting on that. You know, even innocent old Iris had a couple danglangs in her. I think like one or two. I ain't gonna air her out like that. I think it was like one or two at the time. At the time. God just has favorite. When you see a Riley Reid or Drea Michelle pivoting or locking someone in, you know God blessed them with good genes and attractiveness. Look, I recommend you guys. There's a YouTube channel. Like I said, this girl, she commented on the Black Cell video, and it's called Pretty Little Reality. And she's like she's a black woman. I wonder if I can find her Instagram real quick. Maybe I can find her Instagram. But she's a black woman, and she's into like the black pill and whatnot. But it's interesting because she's coming at it from the perspective of like basically an attractive black woman. Oh shit. They want me to log in. Shit. Oh no. Fuck. I'm not logging in. I don't feel like logging in. But anyway, look up the channel. Look up the channel. But yeah, and she talks a lot about like all the advantages that goes with being an attractive woman and things like that. And just again, just being blessed with being physically attractive and how different it is from being like regular and ordinary. And it's an interesting listen with her videos, but it's kind of depressing too, because you kind of get a window into that world of attractive people, because she kind of comes at it with like that black pill attitude where she doesn't sugarcoat the shit and she's almost arrogant about it, you know. And I don't know, man. Like it's kind of when I listen to her videos, it gets kind of depressing, to be honest. Like when you just like, damn, like attractive people really do live in a completely different reality from us, basically. A toast. Yes, I'm catching up. I'm turning 35 soon, and I'm probably going to spend it with the folks, to be honest. You've got a very promising channel and show here, Super Chat. Thank you. Thank you. I know. Most of the time, I stream on Twitch, though, because when I'm on YouTube, I get in trouble, you know, because I start talking about... I'll leave it at that. Clint Eastwood is the GOAT. Leo is such a great actor. Yes, both true. Both true. I love me some Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. But actually, my favorite Clint Eastwood movie is Play Misty for Me, when he had that crazy psycho bitch. Oh man, I might watch that shit tonight. Play Misty for me. Rugged is a masculine trait. That's why it works. If a woman sees a rugged looking man, then she knows, all right, yeah, exactly. And I think that's part of why, we tend to age a bit better. It's not that we're not aging, but it's that the things that come with aging, which is a rougher, more rugged look, it looks better on men. It works better for men. As long as like your base attractiveness type is right too, though. Because like I said, it didn't work out for Leo, in my opinion, because his attractiveness type was cute and androgynous. Somewhat androgynous. I give somewhat. And so he didn't age as well as some other guys, because late 20s Leo is honestly kind of unremarkable compared to when he was younger. But someone like Jason Momoa, right, going into his 20s and late 20s and 30s and 40s, he looked like a rugged alpha male caveman that'll ooga booga drag a bitch back to the cave and ooga booga again. That sort of thing. Henry Cavill, Ryan Gosling. Henry is a good example. Ryan Gosling, to me, I get the appeal, but I feel like, doesn't he just kind of look like, how do I put it? It's like, he looks so normal. Like, he could play just about not any, but so many different roles. It's like, to me, he doesn't come across as being like exceptionally attractive, like some of the other guys that we listed. But definitely not like, I wouldn't say mid, but maybe like above average. Like, to me, he always came across as being just like above, like perfectly above average. But I think that's to his benefit in a way, because it's like he can play like so many different roles. Because even average guys can kind of like self-insert as him in those movies with those characters. When you're watching him, I feel like a lot of people don't feel like he's too much of a disconnect in terms of like, oh, like he's just like hot model type guy. Just like, I don't know, it's like you could see him working in Target somewhere. I could see him in a Target shirt. Megan Fox aged bad. Oh yeah, but I always felt like she was a little, I ain't gonna say overrated, but I don't know. That Barbie doll type just really was never for me anyway. I want to be like Pete Davidson. He get all the baddies. Oh yeah, well just have a big salami. Have a big salami. He's known for being well endowed, and I think that helps him out a little bit. Middle class should be the priority. Yes. Bro, your chest is so 3D 3DT. I'm actually a little bloated right now. This whole weekend, I just been doing this, and I'm about to do it again. I'm about to do it again too. I gotta get it out of my system because it's back to dieting and gym mode after this. The system sends the electricity to your PC. No kids, no lights, among other things like garbage. Yeah, look, don't get me wrong. The system needs life to thrive, but I think when the system is obviously acting against the interests of the people, then people start opting out. And I think that's kind of where we are. In a lot of ways, the system is it's working as far as like being functional, but I think the governments that are controlling the system are again actively working against the people. And so then what happens? People begin to opt out of the system. Look, man, if I felt like we lived in a righteous, good system of good government and law and order and morals, I wouldn't mind saying, fuck it, yeah, let's get married and have some babies. That's, yeah. But, dude, we live in... One thing I've come to realize, and I'm American, so I'm coming at it from that perspective, but, other countries have called America the Great Satan. And I've come to realize that it's absolutely true. This is an evil fucking country, man, all things considered. I mean, just already when you look at, and I can't talk about this too much because I'm on YouTube, but, the World War III shit or potential World War III shit going on. I mean, even right there. But even before that, I was doing research on like the war in Vietnam. And when you look at the death toll in like the war of Vietnam, like not on our side, we lost like what, 50K, give or take. The Vietnamese lost over 1 million people. 1 million lives lost. And that's not even like, what about injured, legs blown off, arms blown off, Agent Orange, mines left, Cambodia bombings. It's the evil fucking system that we live under, man, And so you think I give a fuck that I got electricity because somebody having kids or the system functioning? My attitude is, look, I'm gonna take what I can and do for self, because that's what the system is doing. I mean, people can agree with that or not, that's fine, but I'm just, I'm saying that I think if the system that we lived under actually acted in our interest, then you would have more people wanting to have kids. Like, that's the thing that, and I talked about this before, people talk about, why don't people want to have kids? Why don't people want to do this? And it's like, like how do we fix the birth rate crisis? Well, maybe create a system and an environment and government that actually makes people happy, that people can believe in and things like that. But, oh no, people can't be happy. Tree bark, snakes, Genghis Khan, no. But yeah, that's, again, that's where I am with the shit, I don't give a single fuck about contributing to a blatantly evil system that doesn't care about its own people. When the system doesn't care about the people, then why should the people care about the system? So now I think we're just in a toxic relationship with each other. The system is exploiting the people, and the people are exploiting the system. And then the ship goes down. That's where we are. That's where the conversation got to start. But this shit talking about some damn tree bark, when the system fucked up, I ain't with that. Those Indian women going to look at the white boys and think, cha-ching, and bing. I figured usually the only way you can look better as you get like significantly older, you had to be overweight. You had to be like on some David Goggins shit. Because usually you're not going to look better at 40, at like 25 or 30, unless you were overweight or you got like some work done or something like that. Usually it's the fat holding people back. That rhymes too. Oh, man. Oh, no, a couple of days. Oh, yeah. Iris, I love you. Nobody tell her about this stream. Iris, I love you. This is why I can't get bitches, bro. I don't know how to shut the hell up. It's my own fault. I don't know how to shut up. Iris was a little sensitive, though. When she got that backlash for rejecting me, I could tell like she was kind of hurt about that. She made a response video about it and everything, and I felt kind of bad about that. Because really, when I made the rejection video, I just wanted some content. I didn't care about getting rejected, but it was supposed to just be like, in line with me being the virgin guy that girls don't like, And I asked Iris, I was like, is it okay if I make a video about you rejecting me? And she was like, cool. And that's the only reason why I really made that video, because I was like, I got rejected. This will sound so stupid, but you know how, like, if you're a gangster rapper, if you get arrested, it helps your image. I'm an incel rapper. So when I get rejected, it helps the image of the right? And so that's why I've made that video. But then people saw it and they felt bad for me, and then they started hating on Iris, and I didn't expect that. And I made sure in the video not to throw her under the bus. I made it clear that we were still cool. And oh man. Now I feel bad. I'm back on my diet too. I'll get right back on it Tuesday. I'll be there. No lights or garbage collection. I think I'll be all right. No, look, I want the lights. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I ain't say all that. I like my electricity. I'm just saying, like, we got to be honest about the relationship between the system and the people. The system is exploiting the people, so I'm not gonna be a cuck about it and be like, okay, I get it. I came into this world, you cut part of my dick off, you pumped me full of questionable vaccines, and you started all these wars, you've killed innocent people, you're manipulating and deceiving the people, you're overtaxing them, creating all these fucked up laws and this and that. Yeah, I'm gonna just have kids and hand them over to you so you can do the same thing to them. No, fuck that shit. No. And honestly, then this is going a little bit into more like pessimistic territory, but I feel like we're on a sinking ship, Do you really want to have kids on a sinking ship? I don't think that's really a great idea, but, it's different for every individual. But W Trump bomb. Oh, what you talking about? Oh yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Kids in marriage are not forever. That too. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, look, you can be mad at me for not having kids or whatever. Whoever wants to be mad at me about that bullshit, But when you sit here and you act like everybody should do it, when that clearly ain't oh my God, bro. Lord. I'm not even, I was about to put too much business out, but I'm saying, bro, you got women out there that like drink while they're pregnant, smoke while they're pregnant. Like, so they should be having kids too, right? But according to Stephen Molyneux, they should, because they don't give a fuck. That's why I don't agree with that mindset. Because it just make babies no matter what. You're a crackhead with schizophrenia and you're going to pass it down to your kid. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. They don't give a fuck. All they care about is maintaining the system no matter what. And I can't agree with that. I care about quality of life of people. If I'm going to have kids, I don't want, like, and look, how I'm the bad guy, according to that viewpoint. I'm the bad guy because I don't want my kids eating tree bark and getting fucking raped by Genghis Khan Mongols. I'm the bad guy. Lord. What are we even talking about, bro? Like, I'm telling you, bro, like, be pro-life all you want. But when they start talking like that, it's like, come on, bro. Like, that is insane. That's just fucking insanity right there, bro. I just wrote that because you said you didn't get his take. The thing is that the system doesn't want you to have kids. Too many people, that they say, kind of like we with pet dogs. Now, that is one thing where it's kind of confusing to me, because on one hand, people say the system doesn't want you to have kids, but then you also, because that's like, now you're going into like the depopulation agenda, which can definitely be plausible. But then also, when you look at it too, there have been things like the bachelor's tax, where people without kids have been taxed unfairly for not having kids. And then you have child tax credits and things like that. So at the same time, you have the government even a rewarding people for reproducing and things like that. And you gotta look at it like this too. If you're trying to maintain a powerful government and society, you need people to work. You need people for war. You need people for all types of stuff. So I think really both are true. I think it's just the possibility that the agenda now for the elites could be switching over to depopulation, as opposed to, trying to have as many people as possible that you control to build like a powerful country. It might be like just a switch to a different goal in terms of governance and things like that. But I'm not sure, because again, on one hand, again, you have a lot of people, you have a mighty country of tax cattle, people you can draft for war and military and things like that. With depopulation, then you have a easier crowd to control. So, it just depends on what the goal is. I think I can see both working though, in terms of like, both being the goal of the elites or the government, just depending on what they're trying to do. David Goggins is 50. Oh yeah. Yeah, damn. I mean, his face looks a little ragged, but at least like when you look at when he was fat, and maybe like 10 years after that, he looked better after he lost the weight. Iris is young and young-minded, so she still takes all this shit to heart. I think that's part of it too. I agree. As gregarious as I am, in the words of Salazar, sometimes I forget that I'm pretty even-tempered. And so I don't really look at things the way I used to. I don't get as like emotional about shit. And I kind of forget that. I look in the mirror and I see this young face, but I'm actually older than I look. And I got to remind myself of that, and so dealing with somebody like Iris, sometimes I forget that, oh yeah, when I was that age, I wasn't really, oh my God. yeah. I forget, when I was that age, I could be pretty sensitive too, so I gotta keep that in mind. I gotta keep, if I ever end up like dating a younger girl or younger woman, I gotta definitely keep that one in mind. I gotta remind myself, what was my mindset like when I was her age? It's kind of like the middle school kids who got depressed over bullying. It doesn't mean much in the long run of life, but some people take that shit to heart. Yeah. You get older, you just get more, your mind gets more callous, you're more resilient. Shit doesn't really bother you. It don't bother you as much. Yeah, everyone shouldn't be having kids for a lot of reasons. Yeah, come on, man. But I will say this. I'll say this. Now, this is the problem. And this is some real shit. The people who shouldn't have kids are never the ones that don't want kids. That's the problem. And the people who don't want kids will probably be at least decent parents. Because usually people who make a conscious decision not to have kids tend to be introspective, reflective. They're long-term thinkers. And these are traits that are actually good for, being a more like responsible adult and parent and things like that. And that's really, if we want to be honest about that shit, that's the problem with people not wanting to have kids. Because it's always the people who will probably be decent parents that don't want kids. And the people who will be terrible parents never think like that. Never. Or at least most of the time. And that's, if there's any argument, is that right there, bro. The people who shouldn't have kids don't even think about it. They don't even think about it. Ever read Brave New World? Is quite an interesting read written by Huxley. I've heard of it. I've heard it's like similar to 1984. I read that earlier this year. That book was fucking depressing. I was fucked up for like a week after reading that shit. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I was like, damn. It took me a while to get myself back together. Yeah, you guys, I'm a happy camper. That book depressed me, bro. I was like, shit. That shit was too heavy. But that ending was just like a nightmare for a motherfucker like me. I'm a free-thinking individual of the free world. And that ending break just crushed me. I was like, Lord. Hold up. I think I got the perfect picture that'll describe how that book made me feel. Let me see. Yep, that's it right there. Right, this right there. So this was the beginning of the book for me. And by the end, I'm looking like this. I'm like, hey, yo, this is like, yeah, this is kind of like, yeah, I can see this shit happening. Yeah, like corrupt governments and shit. Yeah, I know all about this. And then by the end, it's like, oh, but it could be so much worse. It's like, oh no. It can be worse than what you ever imagined. Oh, you thought that was bad. You thought you knew the depths of control and authoritarianism. No, nigga. It's another couple levels that we ain't even hit yet. And I was looking like this by the end of the book. I thought it was so funny at first. Oh, yeah, this reminds me of Great Britain, the UK, the nanny state. Yeah. Oh, well. And then I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, shit, I can't deal with this. Hell, that book got me fucked up, bro. I don't ever want to read that shit again. Fuck that book. Oh, man. I have a severe mental illness, so that's one reason I don't want to have kids. Yeah, I hear that quite often. People who have like different illnesses not wanting to pass it down and things like that. Very reasonable. A very reasonable reason not to, because you don't want them to be suffering through that shit. Man, when I was in Raleigh at the movie theater, I saw this guy in a wheelchair. I mean, I'm not even going to do it, but he was fucked up. I saw him and I was just like, bruh, like, I know it's not a guarantee. Like, you don't know how your kid is going to come out, but I'm sure his parents didn't think he would come out like that. And I was just like, bruh, these motherfuckers be talking about having kids like it's just a fucking game or something, bruh. Like, this shit is real. This shit is real, man. God, for that man to be in that condition, it's just like, that shit broke my heart, bro. I was like, fuck, man. I was like, fuck. if I had a kid like that, and then on top of that, like the work of taking care of him and just the pain of this is his life. You're his parent. Like, I mean, not trying to be overly negative, but yeah, Lord, man. Wow. Huxley is about control through pleasure. Okay. All right. Okay. That's up my alley. Mr. Gooner over here. Nah, I'm with it. I'm with it. Okay. Now I'm interested. I thought it might just be like 1984 light or something like that, but now that you say that, I'm fascinated. But people are still reading books in 2025. Well, I listened to it at work. I downloaded the audiobook and I listened to it while I was at work. I tried to make myself sound more intellectual, like I sat down, but I was just listening to it working, and I'm sitting. It's funny. I'm sitting there just working, getting more depressed as I listen. Yep, exactly. I just read a book by Booker T from WWE. It was his autobiography from before he became a superstar. I heard those wrestling books are good as fuck too. Like if you're into like the backstage politics and lifestyle, I heard them damn books are good. Time to spawn an NPC. More fun book recommendations. The Nightland, millions of years into the future. The last city of humanity stands in a sunless world. Oh, okay. Lovecraft, The Nightland. Dayman. Ooh-ah. Fighter of the Nightland. Let me write this down. You know what's funny? People gave me a lot of recommendations and I put it in a notepad and I lost it. And I was like, well, damn. The Nightland. And I'll name this book recommendations. Book recs. Because I forgot how to spell recommendations. I'm stupid sometimes. Oh, wait. Okay, The Nightland cut. And then what was the other one? Brave New World. Alright, there we go. Yeah, we in there. We in there. And I'll just write Booker T. Okay. Because I don't know what that book is called. Is it called Can You Dig It, Sucker? Speaking of gooning, have you played the game Stellar Blade? I'm thinking about playing it. I've heard of it. I've heard it's gooner friendly. We got to really support our gooner friendly games, guys. I mostly read comic books. Used to be into manga for a long time, though. You know, I'm a watcher. You know, admittedly, I'm a watcher of anime. But manga is cool, too. Manga is cool. Sometimes the manga is better than the anime. Even if the anime covers the whole manga. Like JoJo Part 4. I read the manga and watched the anime. The manga was better than the anime to me. Just can't. I mean, it's the same damn story. And the anime was very faithful to. I don't know why, but the manga was just better to me. I should stream some Stellar Blade. I agree. All right, guys. I've been here almost 4 hours. Really, I just want to go get something to eat before the place closes. But I enjoyed you guys. Thank you for showing up for my birthday. I would have more YouTube streams, but I always get in trouble when I have them. So make sure you guys check out my Twitch streams. And I will see you on the next Botcast. So see you guys later. Johnny.